Alright, y'all, click the live button. So that means we coming up. Starting.
Yeah. Y'all actually won an award, the Boss Mag 2009 Ohio Hip Hop Award. Y'all won for that media outlet thing.
Man, I don't even know.
Like, y'all won. He didn't even know he won it.
What'd you say? Who was it?
You won the Boss Magazine 2009 Ohio Hip Hop Award. Congratulations.
That's legendary. That's legendary.
It's on you, big dog.
It was good, y'all. It's your boy Dash Resource, aka Pete. I'm right here with my man Stack Smith.
What's up?
And we also have another legend, a legend. There's no legend higher than this one here today. I know I say that every single time, but I promise you, this is about to be a legendary story. My man, KERRY Ivy, man. How you doing today?
I'm good,
Big
man.
bro.
Big bro.
What's up, Smith?
What's going on with you, bro?
So here at the Legendary People Podcast, you know what I'm saying, we got like to get the story of our legends. We always got to find out the most important story, man. Where'd you grow up at?
Well, I was born right here in Dayton. Grew up in Dayton View on Princeton Avenue. My mom got that house in '68, the year I was born. Mm-hmm. And she was there till the day she died. Mm-hmm. And, right here in Dayton View. DVH.
DVH, Dayton Hustler. So, what was it like growing up there? Like, you had mom and pops there at the same time? Or?
Well, my dad passed away at a very young age. I was 7 years old. My
76.
dad, 76. My dad died in '76.
R.I.P. Dad.
And they were together, but it was, it was rough after my dad passed because I'm the baby of 5. My 2 oldest brothers, who just passed away recently. My oldest brother passed away in 19, and my other brother, second oldest brother, passed away in May of this year. And they turned into like my fathers because of the age difference, and it's 15, 16-year difference in our ages. So they were then like my dad. So being the youngest of 5, it was kind of difficult because it was kind of a hush-hush thing of, we didn't talk about it, about how my dad died and the reason, for him dying or whatever, how that may go. But we didn't talk about it for years.
Right.
For years we didn't talk about it. So, yeah.
So, what was the neighborhood like during the time like you was growing up there?
Oh, man, it was awesome, man. It was awesome. We playing kickball on the street, football. We was playing scramble, tackle in the street, tackle in the grass when you get on the sidewalk. Everybody in the neighborhood came outside to play. We rode our bikes down to Westland Park, down in the creek. We rode our bikes down there. We went down to the creek every day fishing, and we didn't have fishing poles.
Right.
We were catching tadpoles, so it was great growing up in that time because I was smack dead center around 3 parks: Westland, College Hill, and Princeton. So the lunch during the summer, lunch day, when the lunch truck come, we would see the lunch truck,
right? And
we would literally ride our bikes over to Westland and get a lunch, ride up to College Hill and get a lunch, and go to Princeton and get a lunch, come back home, put them on, and like our neighbor was the first one on the block to get a microwave, so we was heating up sandwiches, the pretzel sandwiches. So it was just a fun time, man. It was a really good time growing up.
So what elementary school did you go to?
I went to Resurrection.
Resurrection.
I'm Catholic,
okay.
So I was born and raised, baptized Catholic. My whole family went to Resurrection. My family's Catholic. So yeah, that's where I was an altar boy.
Okay. So how did you like that from having, like your own little space to run around and have fun, but then when you go to school, it's strict?
Well, it was very strict, but I grew up in a strict home.
Okay.
It was a very strict home. My mother didn't play. My aunts didn't play. My brothers didn't play. They would put their hands on me.
Right.
And it was crazy because going to Resurrection, everybody in the neighborhood went to Cornell or another neighborhood school, and we at home. I'm only one in the uniform, me and my sister,
right.
And everybody else just in school clothes. We gotta get school clothes. I don't. I gotta wear this funky uniform. So it was different. Then going to Resurrection, but then going to a Catholic school, and then just the things that went on in the Catholic school, the discipline, the call home. They were calling home immediately. If I didn't have a paper in, they was calling my mom at her job, and that's what I didn't want to happen, was to call my mom at her job.
Mama didn't play, huh?
No.
Bro, did you ever go? Cause so we black, and then a lot of brothers and sisters is Baptist, right? Did you ever go to a Baptist church too?
Oh, yes.
Did you? And so like you went to a Baptist church and then you go to Catholic school. Was it weird? Like did it seem like Catholic was
it
different?
taught me how to grow up on both sides of the fence and
Yeah.
understand different religions, because my grandmother went to the Church of Christ.
Okay.
It was on Hoover with Brother Harold English.
All right.
So we had to go there with my grandmother a lot, and so that was different. And then like my dad, my not dad, but my brothers, one of my older brothers, their dad lived in Detroit, so we would go up there and we had to go to church there. Now the difference is, let me explain this.
Yeah.
Catholic church 45 minutes and we're out of there. I went to my brother's church in Detroit, and I went in there and I'm like, okay. And I'm with my other brothers, I call my brother, I'm with them. I mean, I looked at my brother, I said, hey man, how long we gonna be in here? The game come on at 1 o'clock.
Hey,
Yeah.
that basket back around. He had to wiping his forehead.
And it was only like 15 of us in there.
Wow.
But we were in there for like 6 hours. Then they let us out, and they said, "Yeah, we're gonna run down to the store." This is my brothers. We like, "Okay, I'm about 12 years old." He said, "Well, come on, we're gonna go down to the store." So we go down to the store and buy some chips and little snacks. I'm like, "Okay, what's up?" We walking back. I said, "Why are we going back to the church?"
Right. I knew
We
it.
gotta go back to church. I said, "Oh heck no! I ain't trying to be Baptist. I ain't trying to do that." So yeah, that was it was different.
So, did you start sports around that time, or were you did you have any interest in it like immediately?
I did. Again, my big brother played for Chaminade.
Okay.
He played football, so I remember going to the games and like maybe this is crazy. And I was about maybe 2 or 3 years old. I remember sitting at the games with my grandmother, looking at my brother play football. Then my other brother played football. He ended up going to Fairview, and he played football. And I used to watch look at his helmets and everything. So then my mother used to have us do chores. And so I figured the only way I can get out of doing my chores was play sports.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was like, I want to play football, Mom.
Yeah.
Well, okay, so I'll start going to football practice, and when I started going to football practice, I got out of chores. So then football was over, and I was like, damn, shouldn't me do chores, shouldn't me wash dishes and stuff. I wasn't trying to do that. I want to play basketball, Mom.
Right.
Okay. Then it went again. I played baseball too. I played baseball. So I played sports to get out of doing chores.
Right.
And then I just, fell in love with it.
Is it for school at this point, or is it kind of like Pee Wee football?
School.
Okay.
I was playing. Well,
They had Pop Warner.
they had CYO League, the Catholic Youth Organization.
Okay.
So I played for them, and then I played YMCA basketball, and of course I played at First Day in Little League.
Yeah.
We all did.
The GOAT of Little Leagues.
Yes,
around
it is,
here.
man. So, early, did you see the influence that your coaches had on you as a child?
Yes, I did. One of my Pee Wee football coaches, Mr. Richardson,
Mr. Richardson.
white man, and he was good to me. He was really good to me, and I guess because I was one of his best football players, but he treated me, he treated me very well, man. Right. And I think back to him and just some of the things that he taught me and got on me about. Helped me a lot, and it made me want to do it. And then, of course, again, my brother.
Right.
My brother, I looked up to my brother. That was my brothers. That was my mentors, man. That's who I looked up to, and I modeled I get a little emotional here because they're my brothers, man, and I modeled everything I've done in my life behind them because they meant so much to me. So and one of my brothers was one of my coaches.
Oh wow!
Yeah, he was he was my baseball coach.
He really was like dad for real, man.
Yeah, he was really like. I mean, Christmas. If my mom didn't have it, my brothers came through. You know, it wasn't just one; it was both. They would come through. He walked around with his foot up in me, man. He stayed on me. When I got to high school, we went to a basketball game out of state. Well, it was in state, but it was an overnight game. He was our chaperone. He drove, so you know he's always been there. Even in coaching, he was there for me the whole time. So
like, how was the high school experience for you? You know what I'm saying, like coming from like the home like that. What was the dynamic like? Because like for what I'm saying, like myself or whatever, like when I messed up, I had to go check in with moms, and then what I'm saying,
it was eye opening. It was different. My sister told my mother my mother gave me 3 choices of a high school to go to: Alter, Carroll, or Chaminade. And I was like, none of the above.
Right.
I'm tired of this. I want to go to a regular school.
C-Dub.
Well, I didn't know. I went to Trotwood first.
Whoa, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I went to Trotwood first. My brother lived out in Trotwood, and I went out there, and I thought they had a good football program, so I went out there, and things didn't work out. I got in trouble.
What kind of trouble would you get into? Remind me.
Well, I was playing basketball on the basketball team, and this guy, sophomores in high school, we on our way to a game in Piqua, and somebody on the bus had some liquor, some wine.
Okay.
And so we on there and drinking the wine. I wasn't no drinker then. We drinking wine, and he gets home, he gets in trouble. His mom catches him with the bottle.
Oh, okay. So yeah, like when the smell test, she caught him with the bottle. Like, okay, you think you ground.
But what he does, he throws me under the bus and says it was my bottle. Now, I ain't never bought no liquor. I ain't never done nothing like that. So he threw me under the bus, and the school came down hard on me. And I was like, it wasn't me. I didn't do that.
Right.
And so it got to the point. Then the principal was kind of he was a jerk, and I don't think he liked me too much. And I was ready to get out of there at that point. I felt like on the football team, the coach was screwing me over, and I was like, it's time for me to go, because I was even my freshman year practicing with the varsity. I was killing guys. I was out there getting work in, and we had guys out there that was like big time players. Greg Patterson and some of those guys, Tim Baker, those guys could play. And I was out there. I was holding my own.
Oh, what position did you play?
I played a little bit of everything. I played linebacker, tight end, tackle. At that point, freshman, I was about 6'2", 6'1", 6'2", about 225. So
strong, fast.
Yeah, I was fast. I played basketball, ran track. I did all. So, I was holding my own, and I was like, why this dude ain't playing me? And so then my sophomore year, I go out there, I'm playing basketball. We go to a game, I score like 30 points in a game, and they dressing me varsity and practicing with varsity, but they ain't give me no playing time. So I was like, it's time for me to go. So when I got in that little situation, I transferred 1 week. The next week, I was on the bench with Colonel White at UD Arena.
But wait, so how was that conversation with your mom saying, Mom, I need to go to a different school? What was her initial reaction? Or did you run it by your brother first?
Well, my brother was right. It's time for you to go.
Okay.
Time for you to get out of there. Because you could just see
like writing on the wall.
Yeah, you could see how they was just trying to. At that point, Trotwood, it was starting to transition over to a black predominantly school, but it was still run by white people.
Right.
And I don't think they really knew how to handle or deal with people.
Right.
People of color. and well, maybe it was me. I'm not gonna say it was just them. Maybe it was me. Maybe
I respect that. I respect you.
Maybe it was me. You know, I was kind of. I wasn't an angel.
Right.
You know, like I said, I was on there drinking, but I was no angel.
I mean, because like you did come from a Catholic school to finally having a little bit of.
I mean, it was a shocker.
Right.
You know, to cut class. Like what? You can cut class and not get in trouble.
Right.
I said, oh man. Then I went to Colonel White, and then it was not cut class. You can go home. And it was, come on, let's walk up to the store. All right, well, let's cut class. Okay, it's a skip party at such and such house.
Skip.
Oh, bet. Let's go.
Skip parties are legendary.
Man, I was like,
not for the kids watching. All right, for the kids in school, it's not fun, but for the adults, man.
Man, skip parties back then, man. You know, it wasn't no phones, nothing. You just passed a note.
Yeah.
Skip party at such and such house.
Yeah.
And you walking over there, or you know, you catch a ride with somebody, you get over there, you don't know if everybody there or not. You get over there, and it's deep.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they done broke into the the liquor cabinet and everything. It's jumping.
A little bit of everything going on there.
Oh, man, it was so, you know, going from private school to public school, it was just the freedom that I got. Right. To know that, you know, the only way my mom was going to find out was me getting a write-up. And then it would take at least 10 days or a couple of days for that letter to go home.
Right.
For her to find out that, you cut class, but you didn't get it right up until maybe after your 4th or 5th cut.
Right. So as long as you played it right in the balance there, you can get away with it.
You get away with it, and that was a difference.
Speaking of a difference, so during this time you started transitioning to the 80s or like the 81, 82 era. That's when the crack era particularly started. So like, did you notice any changes, like going from like, okay, everything's all fine and cool, you can ride your bike in the creek, to moving out here and Trotwood, everything's fine, and now you're coming back to the city?
Well, I never moved out to Trotwood.
Okay.
I would go out to my brother's house, spend a night or two.
You use
but
the
most
address
part,
kind of.
Most part I was at home. I was with my mom still, and I saw a difference. Yeah, because
what was the first thing like you noticed, like the very first thing you saw, like, man, that's way different than what I'm used to?
I went up to Candyland. There was a store up on Cornell called Candyland. And I went in there, and as I'm walking up in there, somebody was sitting out front in a Mustang on Dayton's. And the music was bumping. And this is like maybe 85.
Okay.
And then somebody else pulled up in a Jeep, a Suzuki, bumping, rims on it. And I go inside, and they got jewelry on, they rocking. So it's looking like, you know, the cats in New York.
Right.
You know, I'm in here, they got on MCM jackets and, you know, stuff like that. And I'm looking at these cats like, man, look at these dudes right here, they getting it.
Fresh to death.
Fresh, women around them. You know, it was, Candyland was jumping.
Right.
So, you know, we hanging out in Candyland, that's what the cats were. And some of the dudes from the neighborhood were hanging out there, and that's what I saw that changed the game was the cars. Because before, in the 70s, it was the pimps.
Right.
They drove Cadillacs and Lincolns. When they hit that dope area, that crack era, them dudes was Jeeps, Mustangs, and everything was rimmed up, music bumping, you know, jewelry, 5-finger rings on, dope chains on.
Yeah, big dookie chains.
Yeah, them dookie chains. So, you know, that was the thing that you want. That's what you wanted then. That's what you wanted. So that's 85, 86. That's what it started popping off like that.
So at this time, so now you're back, and now you go to C-Dub at this point in time. What's your first initial reaction when you first start school there? Like, because, you know, you was at Trotwood.
Well, the biggest thing was my friends, all my neighborhood friends.
Okay.
All my friends are here. We walking down the hall. It's now I went from a graduating class of maybe 20 to now in my class it's 1,200. It's 800 kids in my class. It's deep. You know, the hallways are packed, And I'm used to hallways. You know, we're walking in line and everything is small. Even when Trotwood.
Wait. So high school students have to walk in the line.
Well, no, I'm saying at Resurrection I had to walk in the line.
Oh, right.
When I got to Trotwood, you know, the crib was crowded, but it wasn't my friends that I grew up with at Trotwood. I'm meeting new people now at Trotwood.
Right.
When I get to Colonel White, these are all the guys I go to the park with and play with. I ride my bike with. Everybody.
Right.
You know, all the guys that went to Kaiser.
Yeah.
You know, all my friends that went to Kaiser. You know, Kaiser and E.J. Brown. I'm like, oh, these niggas right here.
Right.
Everybody go.
Right.
Right here. We smack dab. We jumping.
Right.
You know, walk down the hall. I see some female friends from the, hey, now you done blossom. Now you looking at her in a whole different light. Like, dang, shawty, you know, damn.
Right.
You know, it was different, man. It was cool. It was all right. It was just a good vibe, man. It was a good vibe when walking through the hallways at Colonel White. You know, forever. I love C-Dub because, you know, we weren't worth for damn in sports, but it was all love though every day. So yeah.
So what was the first sport that you played? I mean, was that track first? Because it's indoor track season, then it's football, then it's basketball, and then everything.
Yeah, we ain't no indoor track back then.
Oh, okay.
Not that I remember. I ain't do it. I played football, then basketball, then baseball, and track at the same time.
Yeah. So your jersey number for football was number 67.
It was varied.
And then your number for basketball was 34. Look at
Yes, it was.
Research.
Yeah, but my you did. My football jersey, it was 67, but they had different jerseys for me on the sideline because sometimes I go to fullback or tight end, so they would change my jersey on the sideline.
Okay. So
I was the kicker. I did everything.
Well, you was a kicker also?
Yeah, I was the kicker too.
So,
but we sucked.
I was about to say, yeah. If they got you with multiple jerseys there, like that's supposed to be other people's
Sucked.
spots.
We won one game in 3 years. And when we won that one game,
celebrating.
Oh my God. What?
Championship.
Thought we was dancing on top of the bus, man. We had a party at my dude's house, man.
Oh my God.
Hey man, we had a ball. You would have thought we won the state. And shoot.
So, you know, like from Dayton or whatever, like we kind of joined into the club scene a little earlier than our age allows. Were you one of those two? Because I'm saying, like, you was a big guy, you know what I'm saying, like for your age.
Yeah.
So did you venture off to the clubs during that time?
No.
Oh, you didn't? Okay.
I wasn't into it. I wasn't into the club scene. Only reason I had to go, I went to a couple of clubs back then. I went to Backstage. Was it Backstage? Backstage. I went to Bus Stop Roller World. I went to the Palladium a couple of times. My mother made me go because my sister's only a year and a couple of months older than me. Okay. So my sister wanted to go, and the only reason my sister could go is if I went with her.
Yep.
So I had to go with it. I would go and I would just be on the wall sitting there like, man, what the hell is this? I'd rather be at home watching the game. Right. You know, doing something other than this. You know, at that time that's when Atari came out and I was trying to play Atari or something, so I wasn't into it then. Okay.
So during that time, we're going through your sophomore, your junior, going into your senior year. Are you starting to feel like you coming into like your own man status at this point, or are you still feeling like, you know, like you're still under? Oh yeah,
I felt like I was becoming a man at that time. It was growing pains. My family was going through some things, and my mother had been in a very bad car accident. It was some growing pains at that time because financially we took a hit on some things. So my mother was being in that accident, and you know, we're talking about a kid that was going on vacations and we were doing things, and then financially we got hit, and it was like, you know, I was getting my jeans off of Gettysburg. I was getting Gettysburg jeans then. I was like, man, what the hell is this shit? I gotta wear these stretch pants? Like, for real? Right. So, yeah, it was different.
So, what was your first job? Because I'm pretty sure you got to get to work soon because, I mean, you got to help job.
Man, let me tell you. My first job was Long John Silver's.
Long John Silver's was the legendary one, the one right there on Gettysburg?
Yes.
Wow.
It's a crazy story about that.
Let's get into it. I mean, we're telling your life.
I made a bad decision and didn't go to college. Okay. I had a lot of opportunities to go play football. Made bad choices. Grades weren't up to par. Didn't do what I was supposed to do. Got a job at Long John Silver's. And I was there roughly about maybe 3 or 4 months. And the manager was, making, at that time, I was making like $3 an hour. Minimum wage was terrible.
Right.
And again, we on Gettysburg, so I'm seeing cats riding up and down the street and everything.
Everything.
They riding Benzes now, BMWs with the BBSs on them. They riding nice, bumping. Friends I went to school with, now they in the streets, they doing their thing.
They shining.
Yeah, they shining. I went to the club, I went to Gambles, and I'm seeing cats in Gambles shining, doing their thing, and I'm in Gambles with my partners. We looking in there like, man, we ain't got nothing.
Right.
And so I'm at Long John Silver's, and the manager was being a prick and said something to me on a Thursday. And I was like, oh, okay. You're not gonna talk to me like that for $3 an hour. You ain't gonna talk to me like that.
Right.
I said, I got you. I said, I'm gonna get you. So the next day was the 1st. On a Friday. It was the 1st.
You remember like
yeah, I do. First on a Friday, the delivery truck was coming. And I was the one to unload the delivery truck. So they unloading them. I'm talking about there's 50 boxes of fish. They 50, 60-pound boxes. Oil coming off there. They just put it on the rail and just pushing it down. And I got to unload everything fast. I got to do this. So she come. It's just me and the manager in there this morning on a Friday morning. And I'm like, okay, I got you. And now, earlier that week, a dude came up to me and gave me a chance to get some money.
Make some money, right.
I was like, I'll think about it. So I'm sitting in there, and the truck come, and he started pushing stuff down the little rail. I got the first box. I put the first box off. Then I looked at her, and I said, you need to get this. I quit. I said, I quit.
What did her face look like?
She looked at me like, what are you doing? What are you doing? I said, I'm out there. I said some choice words to her. I said, I'm out of here. I said, you ain't gonna never talk to nobody like this again. She's a white chick from south of town. You ain't gonna talk to me like that. I don't care who. For $3 an hour, $3.35? Hell no. You ain't gonna talk to me crazy like this. Man, I tossed that box, man. I got up out of there, man. I left. And I didn't look back. She said, you won't get your check until you do such and such uniform. I said, I took that truck. You can have this shit. I don't want this. I called dude up. I was like, let's get it.
By the way, statute of limitations up, so he's fine and clear.
Yeah. I didn't say what I was doing. Yeah. I just said, let's get it.
It was a business opportunity.
Yes, it was.
Opportunity.
And I took advantage of it.
Right. So during this time, so now, I mean, are you starting to get a little bit of money about yourself?
Oh, man, I got some money.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So, like, what's life like going from, like that experience of working and then now you're making money?
Well, remember now, I was saying, before when I was younger, we was traveling a lot because my mother had, we had a good job. We traveled a lot. We did a lot of things. It just went back to that. I went from having no car to having 3 or 4 cars in my name. I had a scooter in my name. I'm traveling. I'm going places. I'm going places.
Right.
I'm kicking it. I'm doing things. I got money in my pocket, and I'm like, man, y'all can't tell me nothing. Now I'm living like these cats that I saw at Candyland. Like, man, what? Like, what are y'all talking about? I wasn't flamboyant or anything like that. I wasn't rocking the Dookie chains and all that.
Right. Because you had your car together.
Yeah, because my mom didn't raise me like that, so I wasn't doing that. But I didn't. My car wasn't tricked out. I didn't care about that. I didn't care about rims and all that. I just wanted a whip. I just needed something to drive. That's all I wanted. My first car was an orange Monte Carlo, orange. I'm talking about Cincinnati Bengal ugly orange. It was orange, dude. And I was driving that mug back and forth up to Central State because I was up at I should have gone to Central State because I was up there every day,
right,
hanging out and kicking it up there. So, but
what was it like getting that slice of the college life a little bit? I mean,
right now, I look back and I regret it because people be like, yeah, I went to some trials. I'm like, hell, I did too. I was up there every day on the yard, in the green, hanging out back there. So it was, back then, May weekend and stuff was jumping at Central State. Central State was jumping. It was the place to be for school, and I feel like I tell our kids now, you regret things, and that's something I regret because all that time I was up there and I was religiously up there. I'm going up there in the morning like I had class,
right?
But I'm just hanging out because a couple of my friends went there, and I'm just up there hanging out like a fool,
right?
And didn't know I was a fool, So, yeah, I should have enrolled. Right. I should have went and played for Billy Joe. I was, but at that point, my money was getting up. And I was kicking it. I'm going to New York. I'm going places, without my mom.
Right.
And I'm having a good time in life. I'm at the bars, buying drinks. I'm doing things. I'm 19 years old. I'm having a good time. So
I will tell you one place you went very, very notable was a legendary era in hip hop and just culture anyway. The Freaknik, man. Tell the young kids, all the kids gather around the campfires. We hear. What was the Freaknik for you?
Shout out first off, shout out to my boy Ken Lo.
Ken Lo.
His birthday today. Shout out to the Virgos out there. Ken Lo, my dude. Happy birthday to you, player. My first time going to Freaknik was with Ken Lo.
Wow.
We went down there to sell T-shirts, and we left Spunky's. It was after college night. We all loaded up. I'm telling my man, it was about 16 cars. And we left about 4 in the morning, going down to Atlanta. And it was a trip, man. That was the first time I've been on a road trip like that where it's just everybody, man, from the city. They ran down in tricked out cars, man. It was crazy, man. We had a ball just driving down there. Then you seeing cats driving down from Detroit, and this 3, 4 in the morning, you see everybody riding down 75. And we got there, man, the traffic jam was just ridiculous. 1994. I mean, it was bananas. And they talking about the estimated how many people, 200,000. It had to be more than 200,000. Right. Because we were stuck on the highway every time. Every time we tried to go somewhere, we were stuck on the highway. I rode with my boy, Ronald Hunter, DJ Ron Hunter,
legendary.
I rode with him, his sister, and his brother. We were in the Mystery Machine, the van. Right. And
you sound like the Scooby-Doo.
Mystery Machine. And Ronald, man, had equipment in the back, man, and I'm riding in the back with him. I'm in the back sitting on speakers.
Right.
Going down there, man. And it was a good time. We got down there, man, me and my brother Darren Bird. We stayed with, I didn't know where I stayed. I had a room over there with Ronald. I had a room downtown with Ken Lo.
You was good though.
Yeah, but one time we fell asleep in a hotel room, man. It was about maybe 15 dudes in there, man. We just on the floor. Me and Darren fell asleep in front of the hotel in the grass. We just laid out in the grass and went to sleep. We had that much of a good time. We sold out the T-shirts. Ken Lo did early.
Right.
So that gave us room to just go kick it, man. But we were on the highway. We were in the middle of the streets, walking down the street, selling T-shirts. And it was just, we selling T-shirts, drinking, kicking it.
Right.
And it was a good time. There was no violence. There was nobody getting jumped or beat up on. Right. It was none of that. Nowhere around where we were.
It was love.
It was just all love. And I just, that Freaknik, man, I'm telling you right now, for all the youth out there, you can't get that. you can't get that. You can't get that. It's man, that woo.
It's a special time in history.
It was a special time. It was an awesome time. Man.
Go Google that and look up some of the old DVDs.
Yes, man. Yes, everybody was out there with camcorders on their shoulder, walking around, recording.
How come Uncle Luke don't get the respect that like he deserved, man? Because that's an era. That is
he turned it out.
Yes.
He had it jumping like that. That's what they're talking about, twerking now. They was twerking back then.
Yeah.
That's when they was twerking.
Yeah.
With Uncle Luke.
Yep.
Uncle Luke, man, Shaq came with everybody. They was down on Peachtree, man, and it was just bananas, man. It was really turned. It was turned. As the kids say now, it was turned. It was lit.
For sure. So after then, do you start to invest in stuff like legal things? I mean, I never say you did anything illegal, but are you starting because like now you're running with Ken Lo? You see Ken Lo got a nice.
Well, at that point, I left the streets alone.
There we go.
I left when I started out with Ken Lo when I was at Spunky's. I left the streets alone. I was only in the streets maybe a year,
right.
a year and a half.
A good year.
Yeah, and then I got out of that because God only has to tell me something once.
What was your one message that God sent you directly that led you know like this wasn't where you want to be at?
Oh, when the police did, when they hey, hello, I was like,
What happened? Like, what was the situation? I mean, you don't mind just get into a little bit. I mean, just a little brief.
It was just I got pulled over.
Okay.
And I didn't have anything on me like that, but they tried to imply that I did. And just in case, I was just like, oh, you know what? I don't need this.
Right.
I don't need this. I wasn't raised like this. My mother didn't raise me to be like this. I'm cool. And I left that alone. I started working at Spunky's. And that's when I started doing security.
Okay. So you did say in one of your posts that like you say that, like you got the partying from your mom. There was a picture of your mom, a very beautiful picture of your mom. Yeah. So was your mom kind of going out a little bit?
My mother was she would host parties. My aunts. Oh. My mother would host house parties and host events at the house all the time. It'd be packed at the house, man. It would be. I would be I had to go upstairs in my room, but for the time I could be downstairs, it was always crowded. My family, my cousins, my uncles and aunts would be over. Her friends. My mother played. She was a bridge player, and she was a very good bridge player. So she traveled a lot playing, and won a lot of trophies. And so she would have bridge parties, and it'd be a lot of people at the house, man. She was always hosting parties. So I got that from her, hosting parties and doing events. And then with the church, my mom did a lot of social events for the church and raised money for the church. And I was like, I could do this. So I got the hustle from my mom, who she got it from her dad, because her dad, my grandfather never met him. He was a hustler. He was he sold lucky eggs and numbers.
What are lucky eggs, bro?
I have no idea.
Yeah.
But he sold them. That's what I was told.
I'm Googling that as soon as I leave.
He sold lucky eggs. He sold you lucky numbers. He owned a hotel.
Yeah.
What? Yeah, my grandfather's Puerto Rican. He owned a hotel downtown where Sinclair is. There was a hotel there. And he owned that, and he owned a barbecue shop spot in Cincinnati. So, we joke and laugh. I tell my aunt now, I was just over at my aunt's house, and I said, you got some siblings down in Cincinnati that we don't know anything about. Because my grandfather was like 15 or 16 years. He might have been older than 20 years older than my grandmother. So, yeah, I got the hustle from my mom.
So, man, so now you're working as security at Spunky's. What was your next transition? Or, no. Let's stay in the Spunky's era. What was the craziest thing that you saw while you was working at Spunky's, like as a security guard? I'm pretty sure you done seen all the drunk bang outs.
What year is this too, Kerry?
I started working at Spunky's in 92.
We're in 92.
I started in 92, and it was some crazy things went on up at Spunky's, man.
Tell me that crazy story right there in front of your head, like the very first story that you think about.
Hey, man, it's so many. I tell you the funnest thing we did up at Spunky's one night in the winter. It was a snowstorm a couple days prior to. college night. So we get to college night, and they done plowed all the snow to the side and stuff. So in the night, it's a good night, man. It's packed. Everybody having a good time. They come out. So a couple people, a couple of street dudes, everybody was cool then. Mm-hmm. And a couple dudes, there was snowball.
Hit you with a snowball?
Yeah, but that turned into the biggest snowball fight I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm talking about, man, the girl, the women, everybody out there, because it was a warm night for it to be snow on the ground.
Right.
Yeah.
And the snow, man, I'm talking about 3 a.m, everybody out in the parking lot
Liquored up.
throwing snowballs at each other, man. I'm talking about, man,
that sounds cool, bro. It sounds
man,
fun,
they
for real.
zapping folks, they hitting I was sitting out there laughing so much, like, look at these fools. Mm-hmm. And it was just a good time, man. That's a thing that sticks out to my mind. Another thing that sticks out to my mind is 2 nights. One night, New Edition after their show.
New Edition.
And New Edition came up to the after party.
Yeah.
And, Spunky's, if anybody knows Spunky's was not the biggest club in the city.
Right.
But I swear it was over 1,000 people in there.
Man, Spunky's might have been think that's the best club the city done had, bro.
Yeah. In my era.
Yeah.
From 1990 to now.
Yeah.
Yeah. The best.
Spunky's legendary.
The best.
Legendary.
It was known across the country.
Man, Spunky's was major. I mean, my parents passed in '86, and I think Spunky's was kicking it. I mean, it was.
I remember when in
that
1980, 81, I was playing basketball over at the park, and I remember the older OGs over at the park was like, "Yeah, you going to ladies' night tonight? You going to Spunky's?"
Yeah.
And I remember them, I'm just listening to them like, "Damn, young Grego, I didn't know nothing about Spunky's then. This is 81."
Right. Yeah.
So then, it's crazy. 10 years later, I'm working the door at Spunky's with the great Ricky Pooh.
Yeah.
Ricky Pooh, that's my dude, man. Ricky Pooh, I look up to a lot, man, because Ricky Pooh used to hold it down, bro. He used to hold it down. He would, get that money. Mm-hmm. Ricky was good to people. He he gave me an opportunity. He let me do my thing, and I made it work. Right.
Yeah,
Spunky's, me and my brother Darren, we made that thing work. You know? And I look back to this day. I made so much money. I was making just as much money as the drug dealers at Spunky's.
Right.
I think around 1992, 93, that's where I first seen KERRY Ivy.
Okay, here we go. Legendary handshake.
This is when I first seen KERRY Ivy.
Wait on legendary handshake.
You know where I seen KERRY Ivy at, bro?
Where at?
Colonel White High School basketball games.
I was supporting my Cougars, man.
Right.
Man, look, man, bruh, I was younger than you. To me, bro, you just looked like you was so major, bro. You would be right there on the front row.
Yeah.
You was a big dog.
Yeah.
I was thinking like that dude right there
I want to be like that.
I want to be like that.
I was supporting my Cougars, man. I was riding and dying with them, man, no matter what, man. Them young cats, man. I used to watch all of them and follow them. Anthony Talley,
Kareem
Tracy
Gilbert.
Miller, and all them. Remy
Guys,
G,
man. Remy G out there getting
game
buckets.
90. That's when I had some money in my pocket too in '90. So
well, yeah, but even before that, when Hoggy was there,
I played with Hoggy.
yeah. So I think maybe I started seeing you around that time, but I never really seen you playing. When I came, I just always seen you major in the front. Like, man, that's big bro right there.
Hoggy was a sophomore when we were seniors.
Okay.
So he was the only sophomore on the team. And back then, he was amazing then as a sophomore. I still say
bro,
Hoggy
we want to interview Hoggy,
is the
bro.
best.
Oh, absolutely.
You got to get him in here. He was the best. To me, he's the best point guard to ever come out the city.
Yeah,
Wow.
man. Yeah, hey,
Hands down.
bro, this dude put on, I'm talking about a for real show. A for real show with just a dribbling expedition that you've never seen in your life, man.
No, in the state game.
Yeah.
He dropped to his knees and started dribbling on them.
Yeah. Bro, he had something called the Hoggy Shuffle, bro.
That's real talk, man.
Bro.
Hoggy's hands were huge. His hands are huge, man. Hoggy's hand had big feet, big hands, man, and can just pat that rock.
Man.
So I remember in games, man. We playing in games, and he throw me the ball on the post. He smacked me in the face with the ball, and so I'm like, damn, Hawk, I ain't see it coming. I'm watching you dribble, boy. Damn, he hit me with the face with the ball, so you had to have your eyes on on cue with when he had the ball in his hand. So yeah, that was Hoggy. Watching them games, man. Colonel White,
Man.
games. I was always in my crew. We was front row. We was the dog pound.
Yeah.
There we go.
We was front row all the time. And I'm still cool with all them bros to this day.
Shout out to Hoggy, man.
Yeah,
That's
man. Yeah,
cool,
man. Hoggy, if you ever see this interview, bro, man, come through and see us, bro, because we really want to just chop it up with you about your legendary status, man.
Exactly,
Real
man.
talk.
So we're still in Spunky's era, right? So what are you doing also? I mean, are you just working at Spunky's or you started?
That was it.
That was it. Okay.
I was working at Spunky's. Then I got a job at Emory Worldwide.
Mm-hmm.
So I worked at Emory a little bit.
How'd you like that? Because I mean, like your first
I ain't
job,
like that because again, I'm dealing with discipline issues because at Emory, supervisors and all them guys, they were white, older white men, and I told this white guy one night, he called me a boy, and I said, don't call me a boy again. I said, my name is right here on my shirt.
Right.
Refer to me by my name. And he said, okay, boy. And let's just say I got fired from that. And he ended up in one of them big old mail things, them huts. I put him in there.
Mm-hmm.
But I was like,
That's disrespectful.
you ain't paying me enough
is.
this where you sit here and disrespect me like
Right.
that. Call me out my name.
I mean,
wouldn't-
you ain't taking disrespect for $3.35 an hour.
No,
You definitely
no.
ain't taking it for that.
But again, I was young, man. I was, that little money, it wasn't enough money for me to take that. And I was getting money over here at Spunky's.
Right.
Like I said, I was making as much money as the dope boys at Spunky's working the door.
Right.
So I was getting that money. I was getting crazy money then.
Was it just because they was paying you good, or people used to give you tips, or?
Well, I had a hustle.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
I started that cut the line.
Yeah.
Legendary.
Right,
Started the
right,
cut
Cut
right.
that line
He started
thing.
the
It was a
VIP
cat.
cut
It was a
line.
cat named Slaughter that was there before me that brought me on, and Slaughter had a hustle. Slaughter would hustle the front door, but he wasn't getting it.
Yeah. He wasn't doing it right.
No, he would get it. He would walk home. He'd go home with about $100, $200 extra, and he was barbecuing also out front. So he was out there in front of the club grilling
Yeah.
and doing security at the same time.
That's a bad dude, bro.
Yeah. So
Shout out
he
to
got
Slaughter.
me
Damn,
on,
bro.
and so he was like, "Yeah, Kerry, watch the door for me." When I first got on, he was like, "Watch the door." So I'm at the door and I saw the line. They said, "Hey, man," I said, "Shit, give me $20, you can cut."
Right.
Yeah.
And that 20 went from that to the point where I just started holding the line up.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Having an auction.
That's legendary.
I just started holding the line up because I was like, "Shoot, I'm gonna get to this money." And I went home. I got home about $600. I was like, "Oh man, I'll be back there tomorrow. I got to do this again."
Holding the line up.
And then then I said, okay, I said, let me get me some cones. I saw some cones out on the street. So some construction work, got some cones. Put the cones in the parking lot, start blocking up the parking spots in the front. Because everybody had Benzes, BMWs, trucks.
They want to park up front, so nobody
They
hit their
wanted to
car.
park up front.
Yeah, you
So
want to see my car.
I said, hey man, $25, you can park right there.
Yeah.
You started all of that?
On God.
That's
God.
legendary, bro.
I was like $25, you can park right there, bro. So it got to the point I would start having them park in the fire lane. I didn't care. Because I had the sheriffs in my, I was cool with the sheriffs.
That's the VIP section. That's actually $100.
Yeah, what? I thought you knew. The closer you got up, the higher the price was.
Yeah.
So I remember Kajana Carter played for the Bengals, got drafted. So it was after the next thing was Legendary Night at Spunky's was the Biggie after party.
The Biggie. Oh, come on, man.
So Kajana Carter.
Nostalgia alert.
So Kajana Carter is packed already. I get there, it's packed. And so I done came up there already and set up my cones and everything. I got everything. The line is all the way down to the end of the building.
like, I'm about
it's
to-
already bananas. I'm like, I'm about to kill it.
I'm about to clean up
So
for y'all.
I'm working the door. My brother at the door. I'm out in the parking lot. I'm out there. And I was walking around with a Mac 11 around my arm. Like, shoot, I wish a mug would. So Kajana Carter pull up in this white Benz, this little small white Benz, convertible. He pull up and he got about 5 or 6 cars behind it. He says to me, "Hey, what's up, big bro?" He said, "What it costs, to park in one of these spots?" I said, "Shit, $50." He said, "Well, up here." I said, "Oh, that's $100, player." He was like, "Okay, I'm gonna put all these cars in one of these spots." I said, "Okay, add it up." He said, "Okay, that's gonna get me through the front line and everything." I said, "Hell no,
that ain't how this works.
He said, "How much you get to the front line?" I said, $40. He said, "Cool." I said, "A piece." He was like, "What?" I said, "Man, so I'm playing him like, either you want it or you don't, bro. If you don't move, because one of these cats back here gonna beg for this space, and they gonna come on up anyway. I'm gonna get this bread regardless." They don't care. They trying to stunt. They trying to cap in front of all these females in line. It was cold. I was like, I said,
perfect climate.
"What you talking about?" I said, "What you gonna do, Playboy? What you gonna do?" He said, "Man, you know who I am?" I said, "Yeah, I know who you are." He said, "I'm Kajana Carter, man. I play for the Bengals." I said, "Well, that's where you messed up. I'm a Browns fan." I said, "So I need that money. I need all that."
Yeah.
He cashed me out.
Oh, okay.
He cashed me out, gave me $1,000 right there. I said, "Go ahead, park them up." He came back out there tonight. He was blocked in. He said, "Bruh, how am I?" I said, "Hey, man, I'll get him out here in a minute." I went in there and got the keys, moved the car. He was like, "Damn, man." I said, "Hey, man, they pay more than you, so I had to put them up here." It's all good.
Right.
Yeah.
But let's not go past the Biggie. So did you get a chance to meet Biggie at all?
Yeah.
What was he like, man?
Biggie was cool, man. That's when I realized he was cockeyed. Realized he had a bad
cocked
eye.
like a damn pistol.
Yeah, he had that eye. I said, "Oh, damn, this nigga eye messed up." Yeah, I'm that Biggie, man.
Why is every time you hear legendary stories always so funny? Like, DJ Ron Hunter talk about when he met Tupac, he was drunk.
Yeah.
Every time you meet him, you see his eye was across the street.
Yeah, I was like, "Man, who's this nigga talking to, man? I'm right here, dude." He was hollering at me. I was like, "Okay, it's cool." He had the one little dude with him, Lil C's, and them was all with him and stuff. So I met him. I met Tupac also down at he did a show. My boy Tommy Owens, they did a show down at
Roosevelt.
And I met Tupac. I was backstage with Tupac, chopping it up with him. Tupac that's when he was talking about the gin and all that stuff. He had water in his gin bottle. He wasn't really drinking gin.
What?
Yeah, he had water in that mug.
So, ain't that the same story you was at when you performed for?
Well, yeah, we didn't perform for Tupac. We auditioned to go and perform at the Roosevelt concert that bro's talking about.
Yeah.
But this is what Ron Hunter was talking about when he said Tupac was drunk when he met him.
Oh, he probably was.
Oh, okay.
Eventually, but on stage, that bottle was water.
Okay.
Yeah.
It was water in that gin bottle.
Oh, wow, man. So
Regular prop, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, what a lot of them do.
I heard Pac was spending a lot of time, like, at that particular concert, just kind of like talking to the audience on some,
man.
Some building.
He was a very intelligent dude, man. He was an intelligent. When I saw him later on, as far as when things went on, it seemed like it was an act to me.
So are you saying his on camera was an act or
All that was an act
everything?
to me, because when I met him, he was like a Black Panther. Being raised by a Black Panther, he was more conscious. If you see it you can see it in the songs. He was conscious about Black people and the uprising of Black people. So he was really, I think all that he did was to make money and to sell.
Right.
I don't think that's the kind of person he was.
Right.
I don't think that's who he was. I think that's who he had to be to get what he wanted.
Right. So man, that's so like back to Biggie. So is Biggie as big as we think he is, or was he? I mean, because like you a tall guy yourself. So
Well, to me, no.
Right.
To me, no. Because I'm looking down on him.
Okay.
He wasn't. He wasn't as big. He's big probably to the average person, but to me, he wasn't. That big to me.
Right.
He wasn't that big.
So after Spunky's and after you go to the Emory and you ain't feeling that, did you try to venture off to another job after that?
Well, we started bodyguarding. I was bodyguarding even though I was at Spunky's. I was still doing bodyguard work because I did a show by accident. Genuine came to do another show.
Genuine.
And I was just backstage. They was doing the after party at Spunky's. And I was talking to the promoter and then Genuine's manager backstage. And Genuine climbed up into the stage. I went out into the audience. And that's when they had the bleachers were just pushed in. So he went out in the audience, man. The women were going wild, pulling on him and stuff. And the security didn't do nothing. I was like, shoot, I go get him.
Right.
So I ran out there, man. I'm about 27. You know, I ran out there. I'm
strong,
athletic.
yeah,
I climbed the bleacher, man. I did all that. Then the dude was like, hey, man, you know, let me get your number, man. You know, here's my card, blah, blah, blah. Here's my dude, man, Dave out of New York, man. Ujama Records. And Ujama Entertainment. They did a live. You pull them up on the internet. Ujama, Ujamma.
Oh, like the African tradition.
Yeah.
Ujima.
Yeah. You see them in New York, man. They do a lot of shows. They book a lot of stuff. And my dude Dave, rest his soul, he passed away a couple of years ago of cancer. But he was plugging me with concerts, man. He was just plugging me to work shows, plugging me to go do bodyguard work. And I started doing that, man. And that money was good, man. And I just, you know, took off from there. And I just said, you know, I had a passion for doing security. I like doing it. I enjoyed doing it. And I was making good money off of doing it.
Right.
And that took me into the Tykes.
Okay. So now we go to the Tykes era. So like, what was that like for you?
That was good, man, because Earl, shout out to Earl Marshall, he taught me a lot, man. That brother was, you know, he was so down to earth, man, such a good brother, man, and would do anything for anybody out here, anybody. And we were on tour with B2K, with Bow Wow, with Nick Cannon. We were on tour with everybody. Of course, we went on tour with Master P.
Yeah.
And Lil Romeo, but with Master, we were with Master P for like, one time we were out there for like 3 months. I was out there every day. This was the adult tour though. This was with Master P.
Silk the Shocker.
50 Cent, when 50 Cent first came out. We was on that tour. And we did Fat Tuesdays in Louisiana. We did 2 shows down there, and it was bananas, man.
Oh my! Well, wait. That's the close thing that you're gonna see to Freaknik is Fat Tuesdays.
Fat Tuesdays. But we were down there, man, and like me and Darren, we were on tour with them. So 50 Cent, 2 stories about 50. One, 50 Cent, well, like I said, he first came out, so he was double booking. So he was doing a show during the day. During the evening with Master P and him, he was closing out that show, and he was going somewhere else doing another show, a club show, getting paid. So one day, this cat didn't show up to the next show.
50 did.
We were in Columbia, South Carolina, and 50 didn't show up.
Yeah.
And we went to Charleston after that. So we came that day. So when we down there, me and Bird, we down there, and 50, Master P was like, you know, he was talking to us like, look here, Waldy, look here, bro. Y'all gonna, you know, watch this hallway for us, keep it clear for us. And he had a meeting with 50, man, where he took some goons in there, man, that we had not seen with Master P. Now, Master P is a real dude.
Right.
That's a for real dude right there. He ain't playing. And he went in that meeting, man. All I know is for the next 3 shows, 50 did them for free.
So Master P went in with his goons.
Yeah, like you messed up because he messed up his money the night before. Because what people don't know, Master P used to book his own tour.
Right.
I'm talking about literally book his own tour. He didn't let promoters do it. He was the promoter.
Right.
So he promoted the show with him and 50. So every show was sold out.
Right.
So the box wouldn't give Master P his money because 50 didn't show up.
Right.
So P was pissed off about that. P was like, I got to get mine, bro. I got to get mine. And they had that meeting, and it was like 50 did the next couple shows and was on time doing them.
Damn.
Then one time, like, it was crazy. 50's bodyguard was from Queens, New York. Big dude, about 6'8", 350 pounds. I mean, this dude was huge, big black man. So I'm gonna stand up a little bit. That's cool. And so me and Darren sitting there. He only had the one security dude.
Right.
So we sitting there like, man, this place is packed. This place is jumping, man. We don't know. We just did security for Master P.
Right.
So 50 had this chain on. So 50 used to try and do the little jump into the crowd thing, right? So they had the gates up in front of the stage. So 50 jumps out there. They rob him. They take his chain. His dude, security tries to go out there and get him. They take him down to the ground.
The big, tall, 7
Man,
foot
they done
giant.
folded this nigga up.
Like a lawn chair.
They done folded him up. So, man, Darren, we climb over the railing, man. We go get 50, man. Because we kept asking 50, you need help? You need help? No, I don't need no help, man. I don't need no. He was arrogant as hell. I don't need no help.
Still is.
I don't need help. So, man, Darren, like, man, you know, fuck him. We ain't doing nothing. But then, when he got all hemmed up, we went out there and got him, man. He got his chain. We got him back on the other side, man. But after that, we really didn't say too much to 50 after that, you know, because 50 was arrogant. He was cocky. We was more with Master P, man, laughing, kicking it with him.
Laughing,
you know?
kicking it, everything structured. Kind of like nothing wild going on. You have a good time making money, and that's what y'all like.
Yeah, P was cool, man. P was a good dude, man. So, he is a good dude. Mm-hmm. So, that was something, man. I remember we did a show with B2K.
Now that's a vastly different crowd going from a 50 Cent Master P crowd to a.
But you know what? It was wilder because the B2K crowd. We were in Philly, and doing B2K, man. I'm out in the audience. They don't know. Kids didn't know who I was or nothing. So the Tykes, man, done got a crowd. They got a following.
Oh,
now.
yeah.
So they going bananas
they
over
was-
the Tykes. So
Chicken grease hot at this point.
the Tykes, man, we didn't brought them out to the crowd. We signing autographs and stuff. So all the girls, they screaming loud and stuff,
Yeah.
man. So I'm standing there. So I'm like, okay. One of the Tykes, Jay, I believe, took off running to the back. And I'm standing there trying to keep the crowd, you know, from coming. Bro, they took me down.
A bunch of teenage little
girls ran me over, bro. I was on the ground like, man, damn, help. I'm like, help. They just took me out, man. I'm talking about 1,000 girls, man. They took me down, man. I was like, and that's when I knew, man, like these kids, man. These kids got it, man. These kids, they had the juice, man. Everywhere we went, man, they had the juice. We go to Detroit, juice. We go everywhere down south. They loved them. They loved the Tykes. So
when you was touring with Master P was like blowing up, and he was rich. Was he extravagant? Did he spend a lot of? Did it seem like he was spending a lot of money, or was he just conservative and was just like handling business?
I remember Romeo's ring, lost his ring on stage, and I guess that ring was a very expensive ring. Yeah, and he cussed out his security, man. He cussed him out so bad, like, man, like, you know, my son's ring, man, that cost me a lot of money, and whoop-de-whoop, and we was just like, man, big dog, if y'all could just help out a little bit, man. Like, yeah, sure, you know, it's cool. Because you allowing us to open up for y'all, you know, on this major tour. It's major. Yeah. What we were doing was like, you know, it was big time, man. So that was cool. He wasn't very, you know, because one night I had to drive him from Mobile to Alabama to Atlanta to the airport. Yeah. So we can go to the Teen Choice or Nickelodeon Awards. And we talked. I mean, I would hear him in the backseat arguing with his wife then. He was arguing. And we chopped it up for the next 2 hours just driving there. First, he just told me, when he told me, he was like, yeah, big dog, can you drive me to the airport? I'm like,
did he ever remember your name, KERRY?
I'm thinking we're going to go to the Alabama airport. Yeah. And nigga like, yeah, you know, get on here goes some money, get some gas, get on the highway on 20. I'm like, what? Yeah. Yeah, we're going to Atlanta airport. I said, oh, man, we just got finished with the show. I'm tired. Right.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
But it's Master P.
It's Master P. Yeah. I got you, brother.
Yeah.
So that was cool.
Yes. So you heard the whole argument between him and his former wife in the back.
Yeah.
I mean, was she more or less mad about him being out on tour that long, or was money issues more than anything? I mean, if you wanted to speculate a little bit.
It was about infidelities or question infidelities. You know, what you doing? That's what he was arguing about. He's like, how you gonna know? And you all the way here, and you all the way there, and I'm here. How you know? Because right then, social media wasn't doing nothing.
Right.
So he was like, how you know?
Right.
Like, who told you this? Where you getting this information from? So they argued almost the entire way there until he hung up on her. And that was like, you know, they argued. This is late at night. We on the highway, so.
So, after the Lil Tykes era, do you still continue to do bodyguard work? Or
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, at that time I moved over to athletes.
Okay.
And started doing athletes and stuff. And
Who's one of the first athletes that you did bodyguard work?
I didn't do a lot. Keyshawn Johnson, I did some stuff with him. I didn't do a lot of athletes. I did a couple. I did comedians. I did some stuff like with. It's so many, man. It was so many. I just can't remember just the names. I just did so many people. I was traveling so much. I know I was able to buy properties and stuff off with just the money I was making. But it was so many.
Any nightclub investments you ever get into?
Huh?
Any nightclub investments, like you buy any club or anything?
I thought about it. I wanted to. Never got around to doing it. Because at that time, then my partner got a club out in West Carolina. Worked that for a couple of years, ran that for about a year or two. And then my other partner did a club downtown, Michael's, and we rocked that rocked that.
That was a nice spot.
Yeah, one of my best friends, he did that. So we rocked that for a couple of years, and, you know, we made money off of that, you know. And then at that point, that's when I started, you know, to dwindle down on doing clubs and stuff. At that time, I'm getting to the age of 40, and I'm like, man, I'm tired of this, man. You know, got to, even when I was on tour, it got old.
Right.
Early. It got old early. Just
Every night.
Yeah, because you're on a tour bus, man. You waking up, you don't know what state you in. You don't know where you are. It was like, man, the sleep was just all off, you know. And when you was bodyguarding, like, the older artists, rappers, it was situations where they wanted to go to the after party.
Right. Then you gotta go.
Now you gotta go.
So you at the after party until 5 a.m, and then they want to go back to the hotel with the chick, and you still got to be up with them, like, you know, you almost babysitting.
Yeah,
like, man, you know, like, damn, this nigga going to sleep yet, man. So,
right.
yeah, it was like that. So that got old fast, man. I got tired of that, man. And
Is that kind of like when you started making the transition into coaching?
Yeah, like when you get your coach edge.
well, you know what? Honestly, I started coaching back in 96, 97. Shout out to Jefferson High School.
Jefferson,
Yeah.
That was my first coaching job.
Wait a minute. So how long were you there?
2 years.
Oh, okay. I thought my brother played.
I coached Coleon Lewis.
Yeah.
I coached him. Coleon was probably one of the best athletes I ever coached. Coleon, LeVar Glover, Anthony Parker was our quarterback. Ishmael Musa, LeVar.
Is that Coach Parker that's at West Carrollton now?
I coached him. He was
Okay.
our quarterback then.
Yeah.
And that's when I first started coaching football. I thought I knew what I was doing. I didn't.
Yeah.
Mike made us go down to a coaching clinic in Florida State. And I met Bobby Bowden, talked to Bobby Bowden.
Yeah.
And he gave me some great information as far as coaching. And that's when I got the bug to coach. I left from there, went to Trotwood. My first stint at Trotwood, we were there a year, did major things with the program. And then they fired my boy Mike Perry, so I left there and went to Colonel White, coaching at my alma mater, coaching with Mike McCray. And that was great because I was able to learn something from Mike, and I learned a lot. Then I was coaching there for a little bit, and then I was out of coaching. I coached for a couple years Pee Wee for 2 years. Then I went back into coaching as a volunteer at TROTWOOD because my son was there, and I went there as a volunteer, and it ended up turning into. Hold on, let me see.
2019 championship state.
Missing one of them. I forgot. I can't find one. It's at home.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I got.
Get them in this camera.
I got
right
three
here.
of them. I got three of them.
Get them in that camera.
I got
right
two of them
there.
with me, so I got.
You got to hold them up, bro, so we can see them.
There we go.
Yeah, hold on. Let me get these right. These two things. That's 2017, 2019. 17, we went 15-0, and we were the number 1 team in Ohio. All together. We were ranked number 6 in the country. We beat the Division I state championship team that year. So that's what they gave us, and we were Division III, and we were the best team in Ohio that year.
Yeah, you won 2019 Division III Miami Valley Football Championship Association Assistant Coach of the Year.
Yes. That was a proud moment. That meant a lot.
That's amazing, bro. Salute.
Another one that I liked also was your award you got for the Human Motivation Circle Life Survival and Coaching Award.
Yeah.
So because like to have those are of course like great accolades, but the fact like you working with people like Marlon Shackelford, the legendary Marlon Shackelford, which is somewhere scheduled somewhere.
Shaq coming through.
Hit us up, man.
Shaq told me that he had to recover from the African American Culture Festival he just he took care of that.
Bro,
so
I've been begging every episode. Look,
man,
if you guys at home are playing
Big Brother Shaq.
Legendary People Podcast Bingo.
That's a hard working man. I'm telling you, that's a hard working brother right there.
Man, Shaq got it, man. He coming. He coming for sure.
But I saw a post where like you had asked like the community for 50 men that like y'all wanted to mentor.
Yes. Can't get it. I don't know why. Was just trying to get my goal was 100 men to get 100 men to get out and just get one kid.
Yeah.
Mentor one kid. If we get one kid, that keeps one kid off the block.
Absolutely.
Out the streets, don't want to get in trouble, away from the court system downtown. Just try to mentor him and show him there's a different way of getting it out here, And it's a lot of good brothers out here, but we just can't seem to bring it all together and do it on. Like a lot of the brothers, I see the same people every time I'm out doing something community wise. I see the same brothers.
We need another turnover of the new people.
Yes.
You have my commitment. I'll be one of the 50 that help.
Yeah.
You have my commitment. But another thing that I saw that I found, special also or commendable was you stepping up when Northmont sent home them racist letters to the students. You want to speak on that a little bit?
I just, as black people, I don't understand how somebody could send you a letter saying, how can we teach your black child? How the same way you teach that white child or that Mexican child, that's how you teach them. You don't see, if they don't see anything that was wrong with that, you just sent a letter out just to the black families.
That's crazy.
But you want to keep your kids out there with these folks. And they say we're gonna get a lot of flack. No, the letter meant to do something. Then that's how the letter should have been read.
Right.
That's how it should have come off with it in the first place. It shouldn't have come off like, what can we do? How can we teach your black child? Like, really?
At Northmont High School. I said, what?
Like, really?
I
like
unenrolled.
The same way you taught such and such 2 + 2 is 4. That's how you teach my child.
Right.
So that's. I'm.
What do you think the meeting was like? Because I'm sure they all came together to say, how can we approach these black families?
Well, you got to understand now. I want you to understand.
Why, though?
I don't want anybody to get me wrong.
Right.
I don't think there's anything wrong with trying to better yourself or living in a good community. I understand because I live in a nice community.
Yeah.
I don't think there's anything wrong with that. But I don't think there's any point you should sell your soul, and be quiet from who you are.
Yeah.
Because I feel like some people take it on the chin because, I don't want to make Mr. Charlie mad. I don't want him to look at me. Don't want my neighbors looking at me differently if I raise hell about the injustice that's going on.
Right.
And I think, a lot of our people get comfortable and move out to the suburbs and they get comfortable in that lifestyle,
Yes.
and they don't want to rock that boat.
Right.
So they don't want to cause any controversy. That's just like I mean,
The bootlicker, Stephen A. Smith.
yeah. I mean, even like the Centerville people.
I'm
When the
I'm
white
really
girl-
quoting him, but go ahead. Yeah.
When the white girl had the
Quote that-
nigger all on her
on her
forehead, but
forehead.
nobody thought there was a
And
problem
KKK
with
at the
that.
bottom of her chin.
Yeah, nobody
Recently?
saw it as a problem.
Yeah, I seen it on
a
his
couple years
post.
ago. Yeah,
Yeah.
a couple
Okay.
years ago. But nobody saw it as being a problem. How do you not see that as a problem
Right.
in your community? There's something wrong with your community.
Yeah.
If this is going on, and if people, but our black people who live in these suburbs, they don't want to address those issues because they feel like it's okay. It's Karen. She's okay. She's good.
That's just Karen.
She didn't mean it.
That's just Karen being
Yeah,
Karen.
just Karen being Karen.
She being goofy.
Yeah.
Get out
So
of here.
I mean, that to me, I've always been, my brother. Again, one of my brothers, he was a Malcolm X guy. He was militant. Like I said, I learned something from every one of my brothers, and he was very militant. He was very strong, black man. My bedroom was painted red, black, and green.
Yeah.
The carpet was green, the wall was black, and the ceiling was red. I mean, that's how it was. He had all kind of quotes from Malcolm X up on the wall and stuff. So, I grew up reading that stuff, man. I grew up reading those things, and that stuff was like a sponge to me. I was a sponge absorbing those things. And I'm just a person that want to fight for our community and our kids.
Right.
Our kids deserve a chance. Our kids deserve a shot at life. And, we as adults are too quick to worry about us and not our kids.
And here on the Legendary People podcast, we have a thing called the butterfly effect, where it's either something you said during the interview or something I've gathered through my research that I find truly profound or something I find special. So, like, you just said that right there, it was a mouthful. I mean, like, you growing up, the way you grew up, and you had your brother there. You created your ecosystem of brothers and your friends and your family. And you went through that whole natural process of becoming a man, to becoming a mentor, to going off and mentoring others.
Yeah.
Nothing more special than what I saw was, with the Skylar Ross gun, man.
Oh, yeah.
That almost made me cry reading what, because, man, like, you there for that brother, man, and being there for him, man.
Well, first let me say, shout out to Big Mike. He was one of our players that passed away also. He died in a car accident a week before he was going to college. And that was rough for me. That was all happened just in the last year. And then I just remember with Skylar, so much promise as a freshman. And we were at a camp, and the college coaches were looking at him. They was marveling at him, how good he was. And I remember he got hurt the first game. And I was just laughing at him because I used to call him, I didn't call him Gun. I called him Go-Go. I was just messing his name all up. Joking with him. He was a charming kid.
Yeah.
A good kid. Charming, though. And Skylar, for the week it was time for him to come back, he went to go get cleared from the doctors. And he went to the doctors. They said his chest was hurting, his back was hurting. His back was hurting him real bad. And I remember the kids coming to practice next day. I was like, hey, man, when Gun get cleared? Skylar get cleared? One of the kids said, Skylar got cancer. I'm like, what? This kid 14 years old. Like, what? Y'all tripping, man. Y'all don't know what y'all talking about. People got cancer. Skylar don't have no cancer. And next day it was like, yeah, Skylar got cancer. So we got all the guys together. We rode out to the hospital to see him. We was in the hospital seeing him, and the vibe was, Skylar was like, shoot, I'm coming back. I'm gonna beat this. And at the time, I didn't know what stage he was in. And Skylar and I got closer and closer as the time went on, and my heart just went out to him. And we became so close. And, I love Skylar like my own son.
Yeah.
And it just got to the point where I was going to see him so much and visiting Skylar and being with Skylar. And then Skylar was telling me his story. And then Skylar just one day just opened up to me and was just telling me, you know, because I asked the nurse that came in, I said, you know, what's his prognosis? What's the time? Because I watched cancer and I saw what cancer has done to people. So I'm no fool when I'm looking at him. And I'm like, man, this dude just not looking good. You know, he was already slim. Right. You know, like, damn, man, like he getting smaller. And the nurse looked at me and he couldn't tell me anything. And then he had to get Skylar's permission. Skylar looked at him and was like, go ahead and tell him. And when dude turned the screen around and showed me the screen, and everything on there was just red. And I was like, I knew at that point, and he was like, he's in stage 4. I was like, oh, man, damn. Now, Skylar just told me anything. So it meant the world for us for that 2019 year football season. For Skylar to be there with us, to go to the game with us. Jeff was just so, he didn't care about the game. Jeff was more worried about Skylar. How was Skylar doing? Skylar okay? Right. Skylar got no clothes on. Was he warm? You know, Skylar's mom called, you know, because Skylar wanted to go to the state game with us. And we were really concerned about his health and him being up there and him eating, because he wouldn't eat. And we had to make him eat. Jeff was so concerned about Skylar. Made sure Skylar ate. We took care of Skylar. And I just remember, you know, just when he went back in there, he was just going back and forth into the hospital and spending months at a time in there. And I wouldn't put that on any kid, but they put it on the right kid because he handled that thing, man. He was a soldier.
He fought. He
was a soldier, man. And you talk to him, man. He was like, man, he was telling me, I'm coming back. I'm making it back out of this. I'm going to be here. And I remember the one day, man, was funny. I wrote him off one time. I was like, man, he ain't going to make it out of the hospital this time. And I remember it was in January. And I said, he ain't going to make it out. And he said to me, I go visit him. I said, the boys, this was last year right before COVID. Mm-hmm. I said, the boys played down in Cincinnati against Purcell Marion Friday. Oh, no, it was something. It was a game Friday. He said, I'll be there.
Yeah.
I was like, nigga, you ain't going to be at no game. You ain't here laid up with a robe on. Cheating me in 2K. Right. I'm like, you ain't gonna be there, so he's like, I'm gonna be there. So it's at the center. It's at the center, UC. It's at UC, and we sitting over at the game, and I see a crowd of people, and I'm like, you know, normally you see a crowd of people that gather around, you think it's a fight,
right?
Yeah.
I go, it's Skylar at the game.
Yeah.
At the game.
Yeah, that's tough.
And I'm like, dude. He like, I told you.
Right.
Said, this nigga here. Right. Then he saw him the next day at the game. He tried to finesse me out of some money. He get $20. I said, you got more money than I got. He like, I'm just joking. You know, but you know, that was Skylar, man. And then, you know, just for him he said he was going to do it and he got out. He was determined to live his life the best he could. He didn't want no pity.
Right.
Nah.
He didn't want you crying. He didn't want no pity. Mm-mm. He was like, you know, don't come up to him, hugging him and doing all. He wanted to be regular. Right. You know, he wanted to go to school. You know, while all these other kids are fighting not to go to school and not do things, he wanted to go to school. He wanted to play. He wanted to be out there. He wanted to do these things. And the day, you know, they called me and told me, I just broke down. Mm-hmm. I just broke down like, my man, I couldn't believe my man is gone. Like, you know, he just keep bouncing back like Weekend at Bernie's. Right. He just kept bouncing back up, man. Like, you know, as soon as you think he was down and out, shoot,
he at the game.
He there. He's up. He's like, what's up? You coming to play the game? Yeah, I'm coming. Then it was really hard for him with COVID because in the hospital he couldn't have visitors. And so his mom, shout out to Jana, she gave me extra love. She put down at Children's that I was his grandfather. So it's funny because we was in there one day, me, Jana, and Gunn, and we sitting there talking. And Jana said something about one of her aunts. And I was like, oh, we laughed, chuckled. I'm supposed to be his grandfather.
Yeah.
And she said, Jana thought I was 60-something years old. I looked at Jana like, hey, man, what the hell? I said, damn, this don't throw me all the way out there yet. I'm not nowhere near 60. I'm in my 50s,
Right.
Early 50s.
Early
Yeah.
50s now.
I'm like, damn, you just going to kill me like that. Gun over there laughing, man. I said, oh, man, you wrong for that one, Jana. But, yeah, that's, we had good times in there, man. With, Gun had cookies and snacks and everything up there. And, I would bring him stuff. He ordered food, wouldn't even eat it, But he had everything up in that hospital room, man.
Yeah.
And the nurses, they all loved him. You couldn't help but love him.
Right.
He was a good kid.
Yeah, man. Like, to me, man, life's a legendary story, man, for real. I mean, like, just what you put into him, the other people, the community, everything.
Yeah, like I'm gonna give you like Bobby, no leg Bobby.
Yeah,
Oh,
bro.
my
I'm glad you got into Bobby, bro, because I wanted to ask you about Bobby.
No leg.
Oh man, Bobby was like my son, man. Bobby if you look on Bobby's Facebook post, he had me down as his dad.
Yeah.
And I was coaching at Colonel White when Bobby was there, and I was the coach at Mount Healthy. When was it Hughes or Healthy, one of them, and they wouldn't let him play. So they said he had some shoes on. He had no shoes on. And I said, I'm looking at the ref, I'm cussing the ref. He don't want no fucking feet. Right. He ain't got no shoes on.
Yeah, what you gonna grow legs?
And so the ref was like, he gotta have something on his feet. I said, he doesn't have any feet. So we go in the locker room. Bobby like, man, tie them cleats up on my pants. Tie them cleats up on me. I'm trying to play. And I said, man, I'm not doing no shit like that, Bobby. He said, man, tie these things up on here. I said, all right. So I tied them. And I talked Bobby into playing football. I talked him into playing. I knew he wrestled. I was like,
Right.
man,
Oh,
come
yeah.
play football, man. He's strong. He was strong as
Super
hell.
strong.
Hey, Pooh just checked in. He said, Bobby, my boy.
Yeah, all right.
DAEQUAN.
Hey, man, listen. We in Miami, right?
Here we go.
Yes, sir. Here we go. The story. This the story.
The legendary headshot.
Man, DAEQUAN told us that you had to tell this story, bro, and that he wasn't gonna tell it, bro. So here we
in
go.
Miami, we could go out after a game, after a Heat game. So it's about maybe 10 or 12 of us down there. We all down. We got to go kick it. So we go to DAEQUAN's house. DAEQUAN takes forever to get dressed. Okay, he is dressed like a woman. It takes him forever.
He from Westwood. You close. Take your time.
I'm like, dude, just come on. So we sitting over there, we watching something on TV. So DAEQUAN had this dog, this cane, I don't know, it was a cane Corso. This big old dog. But it wasn't a mean dog, it was a playful dog. But the dog was huge, and he would run and jump and just hit you with his body.
Boom, bump into you.
So I remember he hit Tony Dixon. Tony Dixon about fell down. So we sitting down there, and we sitting there watching the game. We starting to, a couple of us, we got some drinks and stuff. And Bobby in there, we in DAEQUAN's family room. The dog come in there. Now mind you, like I said, it's a lot of us in this house. The dog sniffing around, dog sniffing everybody.
Yeah.
He go up to Bobby. He start sniffing Bobby. Bobby like, Pooh, get your dog. Pooh, get your dog. He sniffing Bobby like, he looking at Bobby like. Man, he jumped up on Bobby's shoulders. Start humping Bobby, man. He like, get the dog, man. They get the dog, man. They push the dog out, man. DAEQUAN get the dog out. So we go back in there, man. The dog get out and come back into the room. He a beeline straight for Bobby like, I'm getting this. Bobby jumping up on the couch. Bobby strong, man. Bobby jumping on the couch, man, like, hey, Pooh, get your dog. Pooh, get your dog. DAEQUAN running there, man, getting the dog. Man, we was in there laughing so hard. We was like, man, DAEQUAN's dog trying to rape you, Bobby.
Trying to take Bobby's cookies, man.
He trying to take Bobby's manhood. Hey, man, it was for real, too, man. That dog was so strong and big, man. Bobby was fighting that dog off, man. Like, man, it was just crazy. Bobby got his hat backwards, man. He had that polo on. Like, boo. I just remember that, man, so clear, man. I miss my man so much, man.
R.I.P.,
Yeah, man.
The legendary.
Yeah,
Bobby,
man.
If you guys have not seen his interviews on the Best Damn Sports show, man, definitely look that up, man. He's definitely a legend.
Bobby, gave me an honor, man, of when they nominated him for an ESPY award. Bobby could have taken it to anybody. He called me. He was like, I want you to go with me. And I was like, all right, yeah, I'll go. So, we rode in the limo with Greg. I already knew Greg through DAEQUAN. So we rode in the limo with Greg and Stuart Scott.
Stuart Scott.
And we chopped it up. Man. We chopped it up with Stuart Scott in the limo, man, laughing and talking with him. And we got there, man. We was on the red carpet. And Bobby, man, anybody know Bobby, man? Bobby is it was a groupie. Bobby was a groupie, man. Wanted to talk to every celebrity there was, man. We stayed on the red carpet, man, for almost 2 hours. We was late getting to our seats because Bobby would not. I'm sitting over on the red carpet like, hey, man, would you come on, dude, so we can go in? It's hot.
He met Kobe too, didn't he?
Yeah, we met Kobe out there. We met so many folks out there, man. We were Lance Armstrong.
Yeah.
The one dude who used to do the skateboard with the orange hair, or
Tony Hawk? No.
Nah, that ain't Tony Hawk. With the red hair. I don't know.
Yeah. Looked like carrot top a little bit, man. Him, man. We met with him, man. We laughed and chopped it up with him. Like I said, we went to Lance Armstrong's after party. Now Bobby was still in high school, just out of high school, man. We go to the after party, man. They was serving Bobby liquor, man. Bobby was drunk at the after party, man. I said, y'all do know he's only 18. Like, y'all just steady serving this mug, Remy Martin. Like, for real? Like, y'all gonna keep serving this minor alcohol? But okay.
So listen, man, like you did a great job today, man. So you already passed the interview, but it's one thing I gotta ask you, right? A little bit of trivia, right?
Okay.
What group did Jimi Hendrix get his start with, and what was his name?
Oh, with the Isley Brothers.
And what was his name during that time?
Oh, Jimi Hendrix?
Yeah.
Oh. Damn, you got me on that one.
This is a news part of our show.
I think it was his own post. That's why I Everybody who got the answer right, please say it in the comment section because he said it on y'all. He laughed at y'all. He had to get it right.
Yeah. Damn.
Damn, Jimi Hendrix actually had another name before Jimi Hendrix.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah. My
Damn,
son's a big
cool.
Jimi Hendrix fan.
See, let's see if we can pull it up.
Jimi Hendrix. Did you like Jimi Hendrix, bro?
Yeah.
Did you?
You see, I'm a Frank Sinatra fan.
No doubt.
That's my favorite.
My dad liked Jimi Hendrix too.
Oh, Jimmy was a bad boy, man.
Did he have any other kind of songs beside hard rock songs, or it was just straight metal like that?
It was all really metal like that.
Yeah. Jimi
But
Hendrix.
his was a different kind of metal. It wasn't. His was like that. If you never listened to Jimmy?
A little bit. I heard is Foxy Lady Jimi Hendrix?
Purple Haze.
Yeah.
Hey Joe. All them was nice. Yeah, some
I'm
bangers, man.
gonna go in. I'm gonna check out some
Hey
Jimi Hendrix,
Joe.
man. I mean, he obviously one of the greatest to ever
Jimmy
do it.
was cold, man.
Man, for sure.
Mary, but that's nothing. I can't find it up here, man.
So you mean to tell me you don't even got the answer to this shit? Man, dude, you supposed to know the damn answer.
That's why I thought I was gonna stump you with the long question.
Whoa, Google that shit, bro.
Google ain't popping up. What they said was like his name used to be Jimmy with a Y, and they changed it to an I. Maybe that's a little.
No, there you go.
Oh, there we go.
But I was, big Jimi Hendrix fan. I love music, man. I just on my Facebook page, you didn't see this. I asked anybody who could still say they were at that Roger video shoot that was on Salem Avenue.
Roger Troutman.
Yeah.
That back in the day, I Can Make You Dance. I remember that day like it was yesterday, man. It was jumping, man. Just a lot of little things. Like I said, I'm a music fan. Ohio players, I can remember watching Sugarfoot walk up and down Gettysburg with his guitar at times, And I remember somebody laughed at him, and I was like, man, that's a legend right there. Like, dude is a musical legend. He's like, one of the best of all time. So I'm a music fan, but grew up. I'm a baby of 5. So my brothers were Parliament fans. They liked the group War. So I listen to all that to this day on my playlist. People look at me like, what? So then, like, I remember when Smed made my shirt.
Here we go.
A couple years ago.
Yeah.
My shirt, I know he was looking like Frank Sinatra. I'm like, yeah, I need Frankie on there. Frankie was one of the coldest of all time.
Yeah.
Anybody can sit there with a drink in his hand, and a cigarette, and sing.
Yeah.
And have a crowd mesmerized the way he did. Oh, man, Frankie and Dean Martin and those guys, I'm that kind of, Michael Bublé, I like that kind of music, man.
And what I'm here to tell you is you have that same effect on the youth and the people you help, man. So you know what I'm saying? Well, we could talk forever, but
First I want to say this before we close. Okay. I want people to know, coaching wise.
Yeah.
I'm the only coach. Me, myself, JG and Coach Greg Moore. Mm-hmm. The only ones around here with 3 rings. Mm-hmm. Nobody else has done this.
Wow. Yeah.
Nobody else has done what we've done around here at all, where, as far as for football, where in a 10-year, 11-year span, we were in the state Final Four 10 times. Playing 7 state championships, winning 3. So nobody else has done that. And
Coach, but let me rock with you on this for a second,
okay,
bro. If you got a little more time.
Yeah.
All right. So, like, being a championship coach, there's many different coaching styles. There's more than one way to win, of course. Mm-hmm. But what do you find your way? Are you more of a player's coach? Are you more of a disciplinarian? Both. Balance.
Both. We try to balance it out because without discipline, you have nothing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
On the field, I'm in your butt. I'm chewing you out. I'm gonna raise hell. You're gonna hate me on the field. You hate me.
Accountability.
Yeah.
Off the field, we gonna laugh. We don't try and crack on me because I'm gonna crack back.
Yeah.
I saw one post where like they had they put a picture like you live in Spunky. And it was a picture of what's the dude name? It wasn't Earthquake. It's the other dude like the
Faison Love.
Yeah.
I'm gonna crack back on it, and then when they see the thing with the kids now, when they see that you can be and relate to them, you got to reinvent yourself as a coach.
Yeah.
And at 52, I had to learn how to reinvent myself. Even in my 50s and late 40s, I had to learn to reinvent myself and say, okay, I just can't play old school hip hop every time.
Yeah.
I got to listen to their music. I got to understand them.
Right.
And for them to buy into me,
yeah,
I got to buy into them.
Definitely.
So, and that's one thing that they end up like, I would pull up, I'll give them a ride home, and I'll turn on the song, and they look at me like,
yeah.
And I'm spitting the words. They like, man, come on, coach. As they went from calling me coach to KI.
Yeah.
I got friendships with these young guys, man. A lot of these young guys I consider like my sons, nephews. We don't hold anything back.
Let me ask you. All right, so when you won your first state championship, man, take me through the victory. Where was we at? Who did we play?
I was up in the box. We were playing Avon Lake out of Cleveland.
Yeah.
And I was up in the box. And the box going up there. Now we're going up there and it's in December. There's been a snowstorm. So we're walking up on the box, and I don't know if you understand going up in the press box. And we had to go on the top of the press box. So there was an aluminum roof we're walking on.
That's slip.
Yeah, they call themselves just putting salt down. So I was up there crawling. I'm
Right.
crawling on I got on t-shirt and shorts. I'm crawling like it's windy. I'm like, man, I'm about to die up here.
Yeah.
They had a little wire rope hanging off the side so you wouldn't fall off. So I'm up there, we coaching the game, and once I realized in the fourth quarter this is ours, I'm on a headset. I'm telling JG, I'm coming down.
Right, I ain't staying back over here.
So I go down, man. I just remember me, man, just the joy of, the hard summer.
Yeah.
The hard off season, working hard, every day, not missing. Mm-hmm. me not missing, me being accountable. And I danced on the sideline. I just danced.
Yeah.
I sat there and I danced. And it was a joy because my partner, Jeff, man, he had just lost his sister just 30 days prior to that. So it was an emotional moment for us both, for him and for me, because not only do we coach together, but he's my best friend. We grew up together playing baseball and stuff together. So he's my best friend also. So it was an emotional moment, man. It was, it was surreal. We couldn't believe it. Like, man, we did
Y'all got it. Y'all got it done.
Yeah.
Did y'all lose in the championship the year before
the year
that?
Before we lost in the championship, but we got to the championship year before. Nobody thought we could do it.
Yeah.
But we got to that, and coaching with, shout out to Coach Maurice Douglas.
Yeah.
Who brought us in and gave Jeff the helm as the offensive coordinator, and me and Jeff really did it together, being the coordinator, and we just made it happen. We just put in,
So that's,
discipline.
man, you know what, bro? That's really sweet, man, for you guys to go there the year before, knock on the door, get denied, and then come back.
When we were going up there, we were the favorite. We should have won that game.
Y'all should have won it.
We were on the bus, man. We were picking out rings on the way up there, man. We were like, man, we got this, man. We got this.
Yeah.
And they humbled us up real fast because they were there the year before us and lost.
Yeah.
And so then they put it on us. They came back and beat us, and we really had the game won and blew it. So the next year, the grind was just that much harder.
How important? So just kind of like listening to that, the team that you guys lost to the year before, they was in the position where they lost the year before. So how important is experience?
Well,
to go ahead and get it done.
A lot, because the year we lost in 2010, the year we lost, it was a game of inches. And Jeff always, and I learned so much from Jeff, by being in the league. It's a game of inches. And we had a situation in 2010 where we could have sealed the game on fourth and inches, and we didn't get it. So I recall in 2011.
Yeah, what kind of play did y'all run?
Huh?
What kind of play did you run?
It was a running play.
Yeah.
We didn't get it.
Yeah.
That was, we didn't get it, and we should have gotten it.
For sure.
And we didn't get it, and fast forward to 2011, I remember we called timeout, and it was a situation where it was 3rd and short, 3rd and 2. And one of the players that was on the 2010 team that was on the offensive line during the timeout, I could hear him on the headset, and he said, "Hey, man, this is where we were last year. We got to get this first down.
Yeah.
We have to get this.
Yeah.
Experience.
Yeah.
That experience." And he was like, run that thing behind me.
Right.
Yeah.
And he opened it up, and he got that and more.
I love it,
was
man.
just like,
I love
that's
it.
what made it so emotional and so joyous. Like, we worked so hard to get it, and to get it, and then all the stuff afterwards, all the accolades, all the awards, guys making first team All-State. That was awesome. And then we went back a couple of years after that, and we was getting our butt whooped. We were just them private schools was putting it on us. And, we lost those games. Then to go back in 7, we went in 16. We played at the Horseshoe in Columbus, and we lost to Archbishop Hoban, and that's like Bishop Sycamore and IMG this weekend. Bishop Hoban was like they're a factory.
Right.
Yeah.
And they just go take kids from different communities, man. All the skills are black kids and stuff, man. I'm like, man, when we went out there and I walked out of the tunnel at the shoe, they were warming up, and I looked at them and I said, we in trouble. We gotta kick our ass. They were so much bigger than us.
Yeah.
In every aspect of the game. But then we gave them a good fight. We got some couple of calls that didn't go our way that kind of put us behind the 8 ball. But we ended up losing that game. And the next year, again, we back at them grind. And the kids wanted it more. They were hungry, man. It was a different breed of kids then, man. They were hungry. They wanted it. And they didn't miss. They bought in. They fought. They worked. And we went and ended up being going 15-0. Ended up being one of the top public school teams in the country.
Yeah.
We ended up being the number 1 team in Ohio overall. Got plenty of awards.
Is that Sammy's senior year?
Sammy's sophomore year.
Sammy's sophomore year.
That was
Okay.
Sammy's sophomore year.
Yeah.
Sophomore year. And I said Sammy, to me, is the best athlete I've ever coached.
Man, shout out Sammy, bro, and Coach
Sammy
Sam, man,
Anderson.
my bros.
Sammy
bro.
Anderson is the best athlete. You can't get a more clutch guy.
Man.
And I'll tell the people out there, you look it up and you tell me a better clutch kid. Now, I'm going to tell you, sophomore year, he started on the team that won the state. He was the number 1 corner
Yeah.
as a sophomore. Go the full year, they went to the Final Four in basketball. He was on the team. The final next year, as a junior, he's at the state finals, and he scores 20-something points in the state finals. You know, he puts up mad numbers in
Yes.
the state finals.
Yes.
He turns around, state football championship. He catches the winning touchdown in the state championship. He knocks down the guy that was runner up to Mr. Ohio football. He locked him down. Dude didn't get anything. And, you know, he knocked down the game winner against Thurgood, which is probably the best team in the state. You know, that year, last year, he knocked down the game winner against them. When I tell you, this kid was just clutch, man. It was a joy to coach him, man.
Man, Sammy's dad was a coach at the Swish with me.
Yeah.
But ever since Sammy was a little kid, I'm talking about I think I came over there when he was probably in the 5th grade. Man, he was an amazing man. Him and Carter, Big Mike was there.
Big Mike.
Like Sam had all them boys together.
Yeah.
Like but man, Sam was Sam a good coach, bro.
That's what
that having
those
that
schools in the suburbs do.
Yeah.
You know, they're allowed to have those kids grow up together and play everything together.
Yeah.
You know, I go back to the state game in 2019, Sammy's senior year. We called timeout, and one of the twins, Tay Hughley.
Oh, yeah,
was
Tay.
quarterback. And I called timeout, and we're trying to come up with a play. And it's funny because during the timeout, Tay and his brother Sean are arguing.
Yeah.
They're twins. They're arguing because one's a quarterback, one's a running back, and they're arguing about who's going to run the ball, who's going to do this. So I call a play that's designed really for Carl Blanton.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, we're going to go to Carl. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. Tay look, and he said, I'm throwing it to Sammy. Sammy said, it's during the timeout. Now, this is an overtime of the state finals game. Sammy says, throw me the ball, bro. Throw me the ball.
Yeah.
We in a timeout. And I'm laughing. And Say looked at me like, what's the play? Throw Sammy the ball.
Man, right.
What he said.
Right.
And he went out and threw in the ball, touchdown, game over. You know,
Man,
overtime.
Sammy knew that he wasn't going to get denied, bro.
No.
Like, in that moment, he felt it. He felt it, bro. And, I mean, man, I'm telling you, bro.
And he's so funny, man. The
Yeah,
dude is
man,
so
he a cool
funny.
bro, man. Just
Yeah,
real
they
cool,
say,
bro.
You know, before the college, the UC, the recruiters were like, he doesn't talk. Ohio State wouldn't get him because he didn't talk.
Right.
They're like, well, coach, he doesn't say much. He doesn't talk. He doesn't know you. He's not going to talk to you. But when he gets to know you, you're going to be like, shut up.
Yeah.
But he's such a good kid now. He's at UC doing great things, man. He's on number 2 on the depth chart now.
Man.
Behind the guy that's supposed to go in the first round next year.
UC had an outstanding season
They're
last
doing
year.
Great things this year.
Big dogs,
Some
Sammy
guys
coming
out
to the
there,
program
man,
now they're good.
Good things, man. So yeah,
Where he
Sammy,
go, man, they win,
This,
bro.
You know, and one thing I credit to what we do as far as coaching, more than winning the state rings and all that, is watching these kids go to college. And one of my biggest joys was like when Big Mike, he got his first offer for school, and he came over. He run into me. I'm sitting over on the sideline. And he ran over to me. He was like, Dad. I said, what's up? He said, they offered me. And I just went into tears, just so happy for him. Right. To see the joy on his face. And then the call, his mom was like, you know, to tell somebody, his mama, you ain't got to pay for college. College is taken care of.
Man.
You know, his grades, everything was on point. I said, you don't have to pay for college. And just, you know, In my years since I've been there in 2009 at Trotwood, I know I know it's over 250 kids we've sent to school.
Damn.
To
Yeah,
school.
that's
more
legendary.
important to me than
Legendary.
anything. To see the kids go to school, the kids that's now in school now that text me, all my guys, my game coming up. I had to pay for ESPN Plus so I could watch games,
Right.
just so I can follow the games and go to their game and go to this game. Just we got kids sprinkled out all over the country playing this game, man, getting a free education. And I tell them all, it's not about going to the NFL. It's about getting that free education and putting yourself having a chance at life. And I look at it like this. It's like going to a club and having the VIP. When you don't have that degree, you got to go to the back door. You got to pay extra to get to the front. When you got that paperwork, all you got to do is flash that paperwork. That's your VIP. That's your entrance into the door to meet and network with a whole bunch of people to get whatever you're trying to get done. That's your opportunity right there. Because other than that, they won't even talk to you. But if you don't have it, you got to go through the back door. You got to go through so many channels in life just to be successful. There's so many struggles. And I'm not saying every kid had to go to college to be successful. I always tell our kids to get a trade, do something, go to service, do something. But don't choose these streets. These streets are something. They're treacherous, and they swallow our young men up and our young ladies. They swallow them up and they eat them up, and it's not good, man. I hate to see our young black people like that. I hate to see our young black ladies in school with eyelashes on their eyes that look like rakes, and they wearing outfits that you see on all these love and hip hop shows and stuff, man. I hate to see that, and that's what I'm more passionate about is just our young people. And I'll tell all my young guys, I give them a quote that I came up with something a long time ago. And I said, what do you want out of life? You want the pain of regret or the pain of success? Either or, it's gonna be painful getting it.
Yeah.
Pain of success is, you can't go to parties because you got to study for a paper. You got a paper or a test you got to do the next day in college, or you can't do this because you got to sacrifice. You got to be in the weight room. You got to do this. That's the struggle. That's the pain of missing out. You can't go turn up and get lit like the other kids all the time. Pain of regret is you at 26 years old and you sitting around living with a female, in the project somewhere, and you waiting on her to get her check or her food stamps to eat because you chose not to do the right thing. You chose not to put the weed down, to keep that weed up and get kicked out of school, whatever you chose to do. Whatever it was, you made a bad decision. And then it's called regret. And people don't want to admit about regret. Now, I told you at the beginning of this interview, things I regret.
Regret was not going to school.
Yeah, I regret not doing those things.
Your fourth championship ring is the fact you done sent 25 or more than that kids to college.
Yeah,
man, and you couldn't
that's
even
my
go.
biggest thing, man. Send these kids to school, go to school, get you a free education, come back. Oh, you twiddle your thumbs, you can smoke. I ain't condoning. I ain't telling nobody to go out and smoke weed. I'm just saying, but you can go. Once you get all that stuff done, you can sit back and do whatever the heck you want to then. But you did what you had to do to get where you are, and that's the whole thing about life, man, because life is a bitch. Excuse my language. Life is a bitch. It'll eat you up. It'll pound you, And I just wish, like I said, again, we'll go back. I don't want to jump back and forth, but I wish we just get more men. I'm calling out all the men in the city, man. Come together, man. Let's help these young people, man, and get these people right. Even the women, all the women, come together, do something, man. Let's make something happen where, I'm tired of seeing the same Tommy Owens, Shaq, Darren Bird, Tony Ruby, Sean Walton, Derek Malone. I'm tired of seeing all the same men doing the same thing. Then I'm seeing the men, this is what kills me. When they have the 10 prominent black men of the community awards. They give these awards out to 10 prominent black men in the community that's doing things for the community.
and I look at these 10 men, and I'm like, who the hell are they?
I ain't never seen them before.
I ain't never seen them out here on the block. I ain't never seen them out here pounding the pavement, telling this kid to stop doing this. I ain't never seen these guys. Like, who the hell are these guys?
I was tripping. I thought I was tripping.
No, man.
I thought I was tripping, bro. I mean, I might notice maybe one or two of them, but
I mean, I know some of them, but I ain't going to throw them under the bus. But I'm like, for the most part, when I see these people, these 10 men, I don't see these men in the community. I don't see them. I don't see them in the community. I don't see them out here on the streets telling these kids to pipe down or slow down or trying to bring some kind of something together where they can say, okay, we're going to do a job fair, a networking, and showing them how to do this. You know, I commend you, Brother Smed. You know, you trying to teach people how to start their own business and do things. Like, I was arguing with folks about that. Just like, you know, if you don't like it, start your own business. It's not that hard to do.
right.
It ain't.
You know, like all these cats out here, you know, I'm not, you know, call me a hater. I'm not hating. You know, you out here trying to take advantage of all the PPP loans and getting all this money. It's free money. You think it's free.
It ain't.
The government, man, they coming back after you. You know, you're going to regret that, you know, when they come and knock on your door and they telling you like, hey, man, you can't do this, you can't do that. They taking this from you, taking your driver's license from you. You don't want to play with the government.
At all.
But it's just other means of you can do it, man. You can do it. You know, they laughed. One of my kids laughed at a plumber. And I said, man, do you not know that plumber makes 6 figures easily a year?
Man, listen, we just had on our bro yesterday.
North Nizzle.
North said right now, as a millionaire, if somebody calling right now saying they need help for plumbing, he'll go there and he'll refit their house with 4 bands right now. No
Yes.
question. No question.
I said, you laughing at a
If
plumber?
a millionaire will say he will go do some plumbing, then why wouldn't you? We too prideful, man.
Yes.
We way too prideful.
Like
to be so broke.
you looking at the khaki pants and the raggedy boots and the T-shirt. I'm looking at what he done did so many. I had some gutters put on my house a couple of weeks ago. Shout out to my man Derek Malone.
Shout out Derek Malone.
They came and did these gutters. Man, it took them 2 hours to do these gutters, right? $1,600.
Yeah.
And then that man said they had like 3 more houses due that day.
Right.
So imagine, and I was a low band. I was low. Mm-hmm. Imagine what he was going to get. He's making the gutters on site. So I'm like, there's so many different things that you can do out here to get this money. And they came from Sydney to do my gutters. Mm. And I'm like, man, shoot, if I could known this 15 years ago, I had my nephews, let's go get this money.
Yeah.
Let's go get this money. There's so many different things out here to do, man. But yeah, I'm an activist. I fight for our people. I speak up for our people. I'm not good at sugarcoating things or holding my tongue back. My mother wasn't like that. Mm-hmm. So I'm not like that. I spit it how it is, man, and you know, I'll keep it going like that. You know, before I go on, this is my last thing. I'm gonna go back to my man DAYQUAN. DAYQUAN Cook.
Yes, sir.
I follow that kid, man, everywhere. I went, like I said, before he started the interview, I went to Myrtle Beach when they played down there. I went to San Antonio this week 16. I went to the Final Four. I was at the McDonald's All-American game, sat down and had a conversation with Kevin Durant's mom, and we just did so many things, man. I went down to Miami, man, talked to Shaq, talked to White Chocolate, Jason Williams, became good friends with Udonis Haslam, Mike Beasley, laughing at him, man. Mike Beasley was a fool, man. Just laughing. This cat, we outside the club, this cat is out freaking a black and mild.
Who is?
Mike Beasley. Freaking a black and mild.
That sound like Mike.
As an NBA player.
Man, Mike, man, stupid, man. I'm like, man, are you really going to smoke that black? And he fired that black up, man, like, smoke this thing. I'm like, man, I remember in the parking garage in Miami, man, and we were parked in the players' parking garage. And we're walking in. I said, damn, you smell that?
Right.
Like, yeah, I smell that. And Jason Williams was, man, he was
White Chocolate?
White Chocolate was beating me up. He was going up to the top. Bruh.
Smoking that chocolate top.
What? Man, I said, man, dude was great. Go out here. I think he was out that game or a couple weeks. But, man, he was in the car a lot, man. He was in the parking lot, man, in the garage getting just faded, man. It was, you know, Shaq had all his cars down in the garage, man. It was looking at all the cars in there, and I was like, damn, this is all right, man. My man that made it. My man made it. I was proud of him, man. I was proud of, you know, people don't know the work that he put in. I remember us leaving a club and going to UD at 3 o'clock in the morning. He getting up shots. He getting up shots at 3. I'm sitting there on the floor like, man, would you come on, dude? Like for real. I mean, he would work his tail off to get there. I remember driving him back and forth to Indiana for his pre-draft workouts. With Ed Schilling, I believe it was his name. He used to be the Wright State coach.
Okay.
And we would go over there, and he would work out with him, man. So shout out to DAEQUAN, man, and putting
Pooh all over it, man. I mean, we haven't read the comments, but you got a lot of people, bro, showing you love, man. Like checking in a whole lot. Double R said, "What's up?"
Oh, my man. What's up, Double R? You
Double
all right,
R
bro?
said, "What's going on?" Pooh been over here just chiming in, checking in. Eric Boykin said, "What's up?" Ruben Woods checking in with you.
Yeah,
so
Ruben, my man. Ruben used to work Spunkies with me.
Kevin Easley, you know you got Bird in here.
Yeah, my brother, man.
Bird told us to ask you about the Master P and 50 Cent story, but you had already told
All right,
us.
yeah, you already late, Darren. I already told him about that
On the
one.
blade back here.
Sir.
Yeah, I told him about that one. So, yeah, I appreciate you, Smed, having me on here, man.
Man,
Peanut,
I
for
appreciate
just
you
allowing
coming,
me
bro.
to, you know, to get some of my story out there.
Bro, it was an amazing story, man. It was a truly amazing story.
It's made to inspire, bro. You know what I mean? I just
I
think
could really
that,
write a book. 'Cause
Yeah.
it can go deeper into that, man. But you know, if
Write the book, come back, and
some
we'll
names,
talk about
the
it.
names will be some people will be hurt. Their feelings will be hurt, man. So some things I can't say right now.
yeah.
But yeah, I could really write a book, man, on some of the things that I've witnessed and things that I've done, man. The people, the celebrities, because I've never been a groupie to want to say, okay, let me take pictures with him or take pictures with them. I've never done that, and because I've been around them, and I just was like, you know, act like you've been here before,
Right.
Yeah.
you know. So it
And
was just,
I mean, it's kind of like
I'm
I
gonna tell
kinda
you.
dig it, though. Like everybody from Dayton is like
Everybody-
little Bobby. I mean,
Yeah.
other than that, but
I mean, I went to Memorial Day weekend about 20 years ago. I went down to South Beach. Me and Jeff went. We flew down there for something, and we're hanging out with a couple of us, Eddie George and all them, and Keyshawn. We met Keyshawn down there, and we're hanging out at this exclusive party. 2 exclusive parties, I'm gonna tell you, I've been to. And at this party, I'm sitting at the bar, and you wouldn't believe who I'm sitting next to. I'm sitting next to Jay-Z.
oh wow,
damn.
man, write that book, man.
And, we
Come on,
just,
man,
and me and
what-
Jay-Z just sitting there chopping it up. This one after, you know, he did Reasonable Doubt, and he just started, you know, everything
Hard Knock
with
Life.
the Hard Knock Life.
Yeah.
I'm sitting there chopping it up with him, man. I'm like, you know, but I wasn't going to be tripping like, man, I'm sitting here next to Jay-Z, man. I ain't going to do that. I ain't going to trip like that.
Yeah.
And I remember one time we messing with DAEQUAN somehow, but it wasn't with him. I ended up going to the All-Star Weekend
All-Star
in
Weekend.
Vegas. We're in Vegas and we're at a party, and it's Paris Hilton's party at the Hard Rock Cafe.
Damn.
And I'm out there dancing on the dance floor. And I'm grooving. I keep bumping into somebody, and I keep bumping into this dude. And I'm telling you, man, I was on my mama, on my mama. I'm bumping into dude, and I'm like, man, this nigga keep bumping into me like this, man. I'm like, I had a couple drinks in me. I turn around, and I'm ready to square up with dude. It was Suge Knight.
What?
It was Suge Knight. So I turn around, I square up. I'm looking at him. You know, my dude was bodyguarding for Suge at the time. He went to Colonel White with me. His name was Andre, but he changed his name to Hamzy. But he was like 6'8", 300-something pounds. He the one got into trouble with Jay-Z with the gun back in the day.
Yeah, I remember
Okay.
that.
He did time. He did a year or so with Jay-Z in jail. And he said Jay-Z, he said he don't want to tell me Jay-Z ain't shit because Jay-Z didn't do anything for him while he was locked up.
Damn.
He got out. He went back to work. He started managing. He was working Rascal Flats. He's a manager for Rascal Flats now.
Yeah.
So shout out his mom still stay down there on Oxford. So yeah, it was Suge Knight, and he came over to me and was like, man, but then I want you to understand, I'm bigger than Suge Knight. Because I'm looking down at Suge, and I'm like, oh man, this Suge Knight, he ain't that big.
Right.
But I'm like,
Yeah.
I know he a killer.
Right. Yeah.
So yeah, I'm down there. Darren come over there. Darren like, come on, bro, come on. So we know it was cool.
Bird just chimed in and said, true story.
Yeah, you know, we didn't jump. It didn't jump off, but.
Well, I got one more. I got one more request. Then you got to tell the Shaq story. Then since everybody you met me little, so you really got to tell the Shaq story.
Oh man, I'm at
last story, y'all. Last story, y'all.
I'm in,
gather around, Papa, tell the story, y'all.
I'm in L.A. I'm in L.A. and we went to a Lakers game, and Keyshawn and Jeff owned a restaurant in Beverly Hills called Rain, and this was an upscale soul food restaurant. It was upscale though, so after the game, everybody would go to Rain. So you could go in Rain. I saw Denzel in there. You would see all kind of famous actors and athletes in there. So we in there, we laughing, we drinking and kicking it, and I see Shaq come in. And like I told you before, I've never been afraid of any man. And I've only been in awe of one man, that was Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
And when I saw Shaq and I met Shaq, and they was like, yeah, this, you know, Key like, you know, this Shaq, you know, this Shaq. And I'm like, oh, Shaq. I did like this. I'm like, and he shook my hand. His little finger came up to here on me. And I was like, man, just his shoulders and just how big he was. I was looking at this man like, this mug is huge. Like, he would beat the hell out of me. I couldn't do nothing with him. And it was just, I was marveled at just how huge he was. I'm telling you, man, I remember at the Super Bowl, went to the Super Bowl in San Diego. And we had this party, PlayStation party, after party. And it's outdoors on the roof. And I'm suited up. I got on gaiters, suit, everything. Liquor, everything was free. Right. Cigars were free. Everything was free.
I love this.
Hey, man, we up in there, man. It's jumping. And sitting over in this corner, you know, Keyshawn, that's when he played for Tampa Bay when they won it the first time. I think that was 01 or 02, something like that. And Key was there, and Serena Williams was in there with a couple of her other sisters.
Legendary cakes.
They in there. Vivica Fox was in there. It was so many, like Jamie Foxx came in there. Robert Horry came in there. It was just, you know, Backstreet Boys, one of them mugs. A couple of them were in there. And I'm smoking a cigar by Serena Williams' sister. We all were sitting over there. We out on the roof now. We smoking. She says, can you put that out? I have a cold. I said, there's smoke going up in the air. Like, what the hell? This ain't bothering you. Like, right. For real?
I'm way taller than you. It's nowhere near.
So, Key gonna look at me like, big dog, go over there, man. I said, man, ain't this a bitch, man? F her. Like, for real?
Right.
So I walk over, I leave her, I go over to the bar. And I'm at the bar, and I'm chilling at the bar. I got my cigar. Had me a drink. Again, now I'm suited up. I got on brown suit, tailor-made, gaiters. I'm in that mug, man. I'm like, yeah, I know I'm looking good, you know.
Yeah.
And Vivica Fox is standing at the bar, and she's talking to me. So, you know, I heard before that Vivica liked big men and whatnot and all that. And I was like, I'm trying to throw my man alley-oop because my man trying to get at her. So I'm trying to throw him the oop.
Right.
And she talking to me and stuff, and she was like, well, you know, here, take my number and this and that. And I said, well, you know, I look. And I said to one of my people, I'm like, well, maybe she think I'm Suge Knight or something. At the time, you know, that's all I kept getting out there was Suge Knight.
Yeah, you big, tall.
Yeah, they think you Suge. I mean, I was driving the Bentley.
Oh.
So they like, you Suge Knight. And I'm like, maybe she think I'm Suge Knight or something. And they're like, no, she don't think that. But you know, I didn't do nothing with it. But it was just the point of just being there and having a good time, man, and being around them people, man, and just laughing and talking with them, knowing a lot of them people are just really genuine, good people. They real
Regular
people.
people,
Yeah,
too,
regular
right?
people. At the end of the day, they're regular people. You know, talking to them and just, you know, I met a lot of people in my life. I've been blessed. I thank God, for my life. I've been through a lot. I've been shot. I've been through it all, you know. So I thank God. And like today, you know, I know a lot of people was, you know, wishing me a lot of prayers and stuff because they saw I posted something about being in Columbus at the hospital. But I was up there doing something for myself, trying to get some kind of treatment. I'll come out later on and talk about it. But, you know, I just, you know, I'm blessed to be, hopefully I'll make it to 53 next week, my birthday next Wednesday. Hopefully, you know, God willing, I'll be there. I'll get it.
Speaking to existence, King, you will get your
Yeah, you know.
and many more.
I just thank God. I'm going to tell everybody, you know, as we're closing, you know, go get vaccinated. Go get vaccinated. This thing is real out here. And wear a mask. You know, I walked in here. I got my mask.
Absolutely. And
First thing I asked his brother was, you know, are you vaccinated?
Yeah. Like what we got the hand sanitizer and all that.
So get vaccinated, man. And, you know, I love everybody out there. You know, strive to be the best you can be.
Man, bro, we love you, man. It was such a legendary story. Anything from you, Sandra?
Man, bro, just as always, man, I really appreciate you coming through, bro. This whole podcasting thing that we doing is just meant to inspire other people, bro, for whatever they going through, your ups and downs, to look at all of the things that you've accomplished, to know that at one point you didn't know that you was going to develop into whatever it is that you know, becoming, and you still becoming. And something that Michael Wright said, and this goes for you, me, and P, is like, man, it's not over yet.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? We still working. So this is just a section of your life story, because there's so much more for you to share. But we would want you to come on and give us social commentary on trending topics and just be a regular person to come through, bro.
I don't have a problem with that. Like
sure.
I said, man, you know, I laid on my deathbed 3 times. You know, I've coded before. You know, like I said, I've been shot. So, you know, God has a plan for me. And I believe back then when I got shot and I saw the love I got from the kids at Colonel White, I knew that was something for me to do, is to continue to work with kids in God's, you know, in God's eyes. You know,
bro,
like
when you oh man, I don't know. I had to go into this though real quick. You coded before.
Yeah.
When you
2 years
coded,
ago.
so did you see any of the tunnel of light or any of the near-death experience
To be
stuff?
honest with you, man, I went in for hip replacement, and they ended up giving me too much anesthesia or something.
Yeah.
I coded out, and they put me on a ventilator. I remember I couldn't see anybody, but I could hear some things. I heard the lady say, "Did anybody tell his wife?" And I'm sitting there to myself, you know, I can't see, I can't talk. I'm like, tell my wife what? And I'm sitting there like, dang. So, you know, time goes by. I guess I'm in there. And I remember my wife rubbing my hands, telling me, come on, you got to fight through this, fight through it. Come on, wake up.
Yeah.
And my brother.
You could hear this.
I could hear this. And my brother was in there, and he came. And the night before, you know, my brother was really worried about me, about this surgery. He was really concerned about me. And he kept saying, he was like, I'm going to be there in the morning, bro. I'm going to be there. Because I had to be there at 5 in the morning. And my brother like, I'm going to be there, bro. I'm going to be there. And I'm like, okay. And I made a video. What's crazy is I made a video to my son before the surgery. I went off into the little corner somewhere at the hospital. I made a video to my son and just saying, in case I don't make it out of here.
Yeah.
And I remember my partner Jeff in there sitting by my side, and just
shout out to Jeff.
And he was just standing there. He was just sitting there with me. And then I remember I woke up, and I had the ventilator was down my mouth. So when you get, if you ever been on a ventilator, it's tied down to you.
Yeah.
So they had that rope going around my mouth and everything. And I woke up and I'm trying to pull it off.
Right.
So the nurses came. I'm throwing nurses out around in the room. I'm like, get this damn thing off. What the hell is going on? And they put me back to sleep. And then I woke back up and, you know, I got out of it. But it was, they said I coded and I stopped breathing. They had to put me on the vent.
And end up
Yeah.
end up coming too.
Yeah, I ended up coming to that night. And end up that next morning was walking.
Wow.
Replacement. They had me up walking. So that was a traumatic experience. In 2012, I had ulcers so bad. Shout out to my brother Earl. We was on tour before, and I got sick, and that's when I first developed ulcers. And the ulcers got so bad in 2012, I was bleeding, and didn't know I was bleeding. So blood was coming from my mouth. I was vomiting blood, and my stool was all blood. I got to the hospital. They said I lost so many pints of blood that I couldn't walk from here to that door without, losing my breath or sweating real bad because I just couldn't breathe.
Yeah.
And I was in the hospital for 2 weeks. They said I could have died just from the ulcers because it went through a vessel.
God.
And then the time I got shot in 2001, I got shot, right a half inch up under my heart. It went in and out. And I drove myself to the hospital.
Damn.
And was like, they weren't shooting at me. They were shooting at somebody else. I was just in the way. And I drove myself to the hospital, and it was crazy. I got in there. I got to the hospital. I'm talking to him on the phone. It was my wife's car, and I'm like, damn, my wife gonna kill me. This car shot the hell up. And I'm worried about the car.
That's what you
me.
was thinking, yeah.
I'm like, she gonna kill me about this. We just got this car fixed too. So I get to the hospital. They trying to tell me to pull over. Police are behind me telling me to pull over. I'm like, I ain't pulling over. That's when St. E was last year. They closed. And I got to St. E, and I got out the car, and the police were already there. And they were out the car with their guns drawn.
Oh my
Yeah,
God,
so I get out
man.
the car. Bro, I get out the car. And I just listen, man. Again, shout out to Ken Lo. I just bought this Players University shirt and short. I had all this Players University stuff. It was May 10th. And I got out the car, and I'm trying, I just got the phone with 911, and I'm looking at it, and I said, damn. It was a white Players University shirt, and my shirt was all bloody in the back. Shorts was bloody, dripping. And I was like, that's when I realized the severity of it. And I grabbed my ID and my insurance card, and I held it up, and I looked at the police. They was like, get down. I'm like, man, they're going to shoot me. I'm going in here. And I walked in the hospital, and they did emergency surgery on me, removed my spleen, my lung collapsed. But again, I'm blessed, man. God had a different plan for me. And, I took that. Like I said, I'm nobody's saint. I believe in God. I got a lot of faith. And he's good to me, and he's good to my family. No matter what we've been through, he's still good to us because he's allowed us to be here to this day. So, I give him all the praise and all the thanks because, like I say, I've been there. I've been on that deathbed. I've seen it. I've looked at the light. I was like, oh, it ain't my time. God said it's not my time. And he wanted me to do something else. And I felt like working with kids was my calling. And I took it and ran with it with a passion.
Yeah.
Man, that's heavy, man.
Real talk.
That's heavy, man. That's
Man.
heavy.
Yes, sir. Well, bro, we appreciate you coming through.
I thank y'all,
that
man.
was
I'm
a
about to go
major
home
story,
and
bro.
watch
This
me
is
some
like,
football or something.
I think you might have topped the best stories of
No.
all, bro.
I'm telling you, bro.
I mean,
because every time we try,
Well, yes, you see, that's why my shirt says what it says, man.
I faced it all.
I faced it all. I stood tall and did it my way.
man. I mean, bro, I think I made that shirt for you
Yes,
last
you
year.
did.
Last
Yeah.
year.
The T-shirt Kings made this for my birthday party. The T-shirt
definitely
Kings.
the
I
best
called the
interview.
T-shirt Kings like, hey, Smack.
Yes, sir.
I need this shirt made, bro.
Yes,
I
sir.
need this shirt.
Legendary.
Gotta have it.
Man, Kerry, you got a amazing story, bro.
Yeah.
Write that
Amazing
book, man.
story, bro.
Write that book, King. Write that
And
book.
just, I don't know, bro. Just you really charismatic, bro. You gotta come through here, man, and
Yeah,
just chop
you
it
got
up
to.
with us, bro. You know what I mean? Because
Well, let's enter one more thing then. So let me
Yeah.
ask you what the viral moment question.
viral. Here we go. Here we go.
How do you feel about the crate challenge? Gotta ask you this one.
It's entertainment.
There we go.
Yeah.
It's entertainment. All right, that's all I can say. I can't even step on one crate. I wear size 16 shoes, so I ain't stepping on no crates, period. But that got to be some of the dumbest shit I've ever seen in my life, man.
Michael Wright said, "Why are we doing this again?"
Yeah. What's the end trophy for this?
Right.
What are you getting out of this? You know, I know there was at Review Park last
That was-
week.
yeah.
They was giving away $1,000 or something.
Yeah.
If you could do it, but I don't think anybody was able to do it because they put that impossible
Yeah.
crate up there.
Yeah.
I'm like, I know y'all can't get it. I know y'all can't get it on that thing. So I don't know. I mean, you know, teach his own, man. Daredevils. It makes me want to ask why people bungee jump and why jump out of planes.
Okay.
That's
a valid point.
I'm not doing those
Yeah.
things.
We can't be shaming our people. We ain't gonna shame other people. So
Yeah.
listen. So we gotta close out. We've been 2 hours 45 minutes, King.
Yes,
I
sir.
appreciate this. This has been the best long interview that we really wanted. An interview that would be long.
Nah, this is an
Absolutely
amazing
the whole
story.
time. Amazing story. Man.
Yeah, that's what we looking for.
So yeah, I'm about to close out. It's your boy Dash Resource. I'm here every Sunday, 8:00 p.m. where I teach sell stocks not dope. Where I teach people how to make money very easy in the stock market. My book is free on Amazon on either side of me right now.
Yes, sir.
We got the legendary Kerry Ivy, man.
Shout out to all
Yeah.
my family.
Man, we out of here, bro.
All right, bro.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah, actually.
That's legendary. That's legendary.